It'd be the worst disaster NASA's ever experienced.
With all due respect, sir, I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
And we went up and we flew in the daytime, and then I took them up at night. I thought to myself, well, going to the moon, it's always dark. And maybe the best idea to teach them how to be an astronaut would be to go up at night. And we flew out to West Texas, not many lights, and it was clear night. And I had a little cutout of the lunar module window, and I put it in the windscreen of the airplane. And I said, now, Tom, this is all you're really going to see on the way to the moon. And we found a couple stars that we actually used on the flight. And I had a little cutout of the lunar module window, and I put it in the windscreen of the airplane. And I said, now, Tom, this is all you're really going to see on the way to the moon.
Well, we are back again, and we should be, hopefully, if I indeed have it correct, we should be live on YouTube and X as well. Of course, X being the platform of free speech. Oh man, free speech, right? Yeah. What can you say about that? It's an illusion. That's it. Bottom line, it's an illusion. Much like everything else in this world, it's an illusion. But what's not an illusion is that I am indeed here. I am indeed live tonight. I'm not an AI bot, right? As some claimed once upon a time. I am here, and I am indeed live in the rolling hills of Murrayshire, in the far, far northeast corner of bonny Scotland. Where else would you rather be, right? No, don't say it. I know, there's nowhere else you would rather be. I know, I totally get it. It's got to be Scotland, right? Scotland. Explain Scotland. Wow. Yeah. Where do you start there? How long have you got, right? How long have you got? So we're not talking about, well, we might talk about Scotland tonight. Who knows, right? But we are indeed back again to talk about geoengineering. Dun, dun, dun. What is that? Well, good question. What is geoengineering? In the name, basically, I would say. In short, of course, engineering, your reality, your atmosphere, your stratosphere, your world, the air that you breathe, right? Because of course we do indeed know what goes up must indeed come all the way back down. And where does that leave us? That's an interesting question, especially if you are referring to, in particular, stratospheric aerosol injection, as they call it, which is indeed, of course, chemtrails, shock horror, and the chemtrailing situation. Well, as many people here would do know, it's been going on for many years, decades, long before I was even born. And we've talked about this before. It's quite an interesting topic if you research when did the idea or early experimentation of weather manipulation modification begin. Does anybody want to take a wee crack at that, right? 30 seconds on the clock, go. So I remember, I can actually remember maybe about possibly 3 years ago, we done a stream and I asked that question, right? When did it begin? When do you think these experiments began? And a lot of people said, 1960, 1940, 1920, but it's way before that. It's about 100 years, 100 years before that. So it's a long time in the making. Now, if you're going back hundreds of years in terms, as far as we know anyway, in terms of technology and idea, initiative, seemingly a bit limited. Maybe not initiative, but technology in terms of what we've seemingly got today. So it's been in the kind of pipeline for centuries, man. And there's been this kind of big idea. Remember the George Bush Walker, the Poppy? We got a big idea. It's a new world order. And you'll fucking do as you're told, and that'll be it. It's kind of this big idea. And when I think about it, I do tend to think, is this going to become? Do you know how we are currently at a situation where the powers that be, they somehow paint this picture, this perception that net zero, it's there, I got it. Net zero is the golden carrot, okay? It's this golden carrot we must get to it at all costs. And it's fast becoming what they kind of deem as humanity's goal, humanity's one and only goal, humanity's dream, as the world, as the masses, we we now dream to save the planet from who is it from? Who is it from again? From humans. Oh yeah, save it from humans, right? Yeah. Is that really the dream? Is that the goal of each and every one of us in the world? And it's funny. Well, it's maybe not funny, to be fair. But when you think about it, what is humanity's dream? Is there even a dream that you could call a kind of unified dream, a unified target? I know most of us, we've got our own kind of targets in life, where we would like to be, where we want to go. Not everybody, but most people. But in terms of the world, where exactly does it stand? Because in the past, all I've seemed to read about is humanity has a dream now to go to the planet Mars. So that's the dream. Forget about your individual goal, your individual dream. The dream is to go to Mars, okay? What about the hunger? Forget the hunger. Forget the poverty. Nah, that doesn't matter. What about the drug? Nah, forget the drug problem. It's only killing millions and millions and millions of people. What about the suicide? Nah, forget that. Doesn't matter. We've got a dream now to go to Mars, of course. And it's quite funny. It's comical. It is comical. But when you kind of get right down to it, it shows you how far astray we really are from where we probably should be. We just, I mean, the best way to probably paint that picture is like the Pied Piper leading the instead of rats, it's human beings leading them away down this path of deception and destruction. If we really sat down and thought about it en masse, that wouldn't be the fucking dream. That would not be the dream. It wouldn't. It simply would not be. Yeah, we probably would never agree on anything, so it would be pointless. But that would not be, not even in the top 3 of humanity's dreams to get to fucking Mars. Come on. Of course, yeah, hunger, drug deaths. I mean, I can kind of only speak for Scotland, but I mean, it's honestly, God, it's eye-watering here. The drug death issues, the suicide rate. It is just honestly, you would struggle to believe it if you never knew it was that bad. It is so fucking bad. And again, that kind of brings you back to the dog agrees. In terms of getting led astray. So there's always been the agenda, we know that, but the people who have enabled it upon us are indeed the political so-called elite that grace our reality, like the SNP, the Labour Party, the Conservative Party, any of them, any of the political parties. I mean, they've enabled it, and I've said it many times before, and I don't know, maybe one day I'll get arrested for saying it, but I'll still fucking say it. They should not see the light of day. Not one. And if it was up to me, honestly, if it was down to me, I would lock them up and I would throw away the key, and they would be done for the most. Honestly, it's hard to even explain the crimes committed by these people who call themselves politicians, man. Honestly, it is just staggering. Absolutely staggering. And funnily enough, on that kind of politics as well, people know, well, I thought people knew my view in, in terms of the whole political structure, the beast system. But someone had said, oh, I mean, I don't know how anybody could actually pick me up wrong. But there you go. But someone had said, oh, that I seem to think there is somehow a solution in the political system in terms of voting. I mean, come on. Honestly, how could anybody think that? People are clearly not hearing what I'm saying, or either that, or I'm not putting my point across in a proper manner, which is probably the case, to be fair. But I mean, hey, if anybody out there had zero faith in the political establishment, the system, the voting, you name it, it would be fucking me. It would be me, man. I don't know how anybody could think any different. The only solution, the only answer is not in the voting booth or the political parties. It's coming from you. That's it. Nobody else. And until we all kind of unite on that sort of frequency, that we need to be the ones who make a change, we need to be the ones who lead by example, we'll never get there. We'll continue to just kind of go round and round and round the fucking merry-go-round. That's what it's like. It's a circus, man. I mean, the political stage is a circus. Look at the whole Charlie Kirk scenario. And I mean, even funnier than that, remember the whole Donald Trump got shot in the ear scenario. I mean, come on, man. Honestly, see if you, honest to God, I don't know if I should be laughing at it, but it's comical. The world that we're in now, it would, in my own view, it would indeed take a very, very brave man to put weight behind any fucking thing today. Anything. Honestly, you would not buy it, man. And of course, similar to what Bill Cooper said in the past, hey, read everything, listen to everyone, but don't believe it. Read it all, listen to it all. Yep, fair enough, take it on board, but do not fucking believe it. Unless, of course, you can prove otherwise through your own research, your own due diligence. Yeah, we'll go with that. And that can take a bit of doing. So, hey, never be forced into a belief or a thought or a theory. Take every single fucking thing you hear with a big pinch of salt, which of course will be also microplastics now. Take it with a big pinch of microplastics and yeah, believe what you want. Do you know, a lot of the time, kind of from my own experience, a lot of the time I'll go with what you would probably call gut instinct. You've got to go with that. And I always think and kind of rack my brain, has it ever let me down? Probably, I don't know, but intoxicated maybe it has. But on a sober, straight as a die kind of level, I don't think it would let you down. It would not let you down. Do you know, animals and birds and so many things in this world have this kind of amazing sense that we can never see it. We never know what it is, but they know something's coming. And do you know, or maybe I'm imagining that, to be fair, but they sense it. They do. Humans have got that, but we just kind of, I think we've kind of lost our way. I think we don't quite grasp it, maybe as well as we once probably did. I don't know, about fucking 10 billion, million, zillion, trillion years ago, right? Because how long have we been under the kind of rule of, if you like, tyranny? Possibly since day one. But then that would depend on, I guess, your belief on how humans came about, how civilizations came about, what happened to them, where did they go? In 100 years' time, the same question likely will be asked of us. They'll be saying, well, what happened to them? Where did they go? Maybe they all got COVID. Maybe it was the long COVID. Maybe the long COVID got them, right? Maybe it was the geoengineering that got them. Yeah. Funny that. I mean, the way they talk about, in particular, unintended consequences. Yeah, it's kind of earth-shattering. If it was to be believed, it would be destructive beyond, at least as of now, our comprehension. And the big worry for me is we might already be pretty much there, because for many, 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 many years now, they have been engineering our climate. And I don't think anybody would argue with that. I mean, so many people today, question about the chemtrail and the contrails, and rightly so. So they should. It's a pity they never done it before, but they're doing it. They're doing it more and more. There could come a point where all that kind of chemtrail theory scenario, it'll be kind of swept under the rug to a degree, because if they come out and implement, and they will at some point, I can guarantee you that it will happen. When they come out and implement stratospheric aerosol injection, aka chemtrails, the whole chemtrail theory, it'll be gone, because people will then be saying, well, actually, it's not a chemtrail, it's a geoengineering trail, and it's saving the planet. So respect it, right? Hail to it. They'll be fucking on their knees hailing the chemtrail aircraft as it fizzes past about 10 feet above their head. Spraying them like fucking bugs, man. They'll be hailing it. And funnily enough, quite incredible actually, thinking about it, man. See when and this must have been about, oh man, 3, probably maybe even 4 years ago now. I was talking about the whole chemtrail scenario. We've talked about it since we came on, and longer. And someone came on the chat. This is no word of a lie. Someone came on the chat, and they were from they were not from QAnon, but they were part of the whole, yeah, we believe QAnon, fucking hail Trump, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, sit down, it's all going to be okay. You know, that kind of person where, no, you don't worry, there's good people in the government. They're going to sort it out. Sit down, nothing to worry about. So one of them said, oh, and I mentioned this before, one of them said, oh, look, hey, I know you're doing videos on chemtrails and stuff, but don't worry about that, because honestly, the bad chemtrailing, it's stopped now. What they're spraying now is the good chemtrails. So now they're spraying the good. It's like vitamins they're spraying now, and it's keeping everyone alive now. Well, they never said about keeping everyone alive, but honest to God, they said, oh, what they're spraying now is like medicine. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Right? Thank God! Hallelujah! We are not worthy. So I guess there's not much to worry about. You would imagine. Hey, Q's got it. Sit down. Fear not. QAnon is here. I mean, where the hell? Honestly, where the bloody hell did QAnon even spring out of, man? It's clearly came out of a kind of CIA Mossad network, where they've kind of, well, let's face it, what they've done is probably a master stroke, because we know how they like to control, well, each and every fucking thing, basically. So the opposition, well, why fight an opposition when you can control it? You can be it. Even better, you can be it. It's even better when you can be the opposition. And that's quite funny as well, because, again, maybe not funny, but going back to the whole political party scenario, oh, the green, oh, the red, oh, the blue, oh, the yellow, oh, the fucking rainbow now. But they're all the same, though. They're all the same. Even, like, I think probably late 90s, you would have started to see that. People might have seen that before it, to be fair. But people who kind of thought the voting could work, you kind of thought there was you could tell Labour and Conservative apart to a degree, but you can't now, man. You can maybe, but when you get down to what the politicians do, see, judge them on what they do, not what they say. What they then do, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if it was Conservative or Labour. It was going to fucking be done anyway. And it's quite a funny one when people can't see it. you get politicians and these political parties coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, year after year, whatever it is, every 4, whatever it may be, decade after decade, and not a fucking thing changes. Not a thing. And people somehow, I don't know if they forget, but they can't see it. They don't stand back after so many years and in hindsight and look at it and say, look, well, wait a minute, actually, there's clearly an agenda at play here, right across the world, by the way. But when a political party gets voted in, they've got no say. They don't. They get what you could maybe say they get wee bits of power here and there to make decisions. But in the long run, in the wider scale of things, they don't. They'll play by the fucking book. And if they don't, they won't be in there. They'll be out the door. They'll be finished, man. And if they go beyond that, it'll be worse. They'll be swimming with the fishes, right? Because that's what they do. That's how they operate. I'm not saying nobody can't get in their way, because you can. Of course you can. But when you're dealing with, in particular, politics and the kind of MOD, yeah, you're kind of dicing with trouble there. They'll come after you. Big Pharma, if you somehow get a big following and are, I don't know, let's say a doctor who's actually got a heart, who's actually got a brain and wants to tell people the truth about Big Pharma, they won't last. They do not last long. They're another entity. They'll come out and, hey, in my own view, it doesn't even have to be a big thing. They only have to have a slight worry about you, and that'll be enough. A lot of these big entities and companies who take people out, what they also do is, yeah, they'll take someone out if you get in their way, if you step on their toes, they'll take you out. But they'll a lot of them also do is, and it's quite astonishing, really. And this is again my own view on it. They'll take you out before you become an issue if they determine that you possibly might be an issue. Say, I don't know, years down the line, oh, he might get dementia. Fuck it, we'll knock him off when he's 45 or 50, right? And it's prevention. That's what a lot of them work in. So they'll deal with it when it comes, but they also work in prevention. So a lot of them now, given today's world, they'll use a computer model and computer modeling and data programming to determine who might actually be a bit of an issue. So that's why data, in terms of the data they gather, it's gigantic for them. Each and every one of us is like a walking kind of pot of gold to some of these companies, the bigger ones in particular. So in terms of when people talk about surveillance, yeah, hey, the likelihood is we're all being surveilled right around the clock. And not only surveillance, but yeah, I mean, they would watch you around the clock, not because you might be an issue, but for data harvesting, man. Harvesting the data. Put it in the computer. Boop, boop, boop. Is he gonna be an issue in the near future? Computer comes back. Potentially, yeah, he might be. Right, fuck it. Send the hit, right? Because it's all being, I mean, no matter what we see now, bloody hell. No matter what we see, no matter what we seem to get put upon us, it's all being intertwined with the so-called artificial intelligence now. Hip hip hooray! We are not worthy, right? So we're going to be getting into geoengineering. And it is, I mean, come on. It's a gigantic topic. It's humongous. And there's so much when you get down to it, there is so much it entails. And of course, the main kind of thing is the stratospheric aerosol injection. I think probably the most known. I know Richie Allen mentioned something that we've talked about in the past, where they're going to get these big iron curtains and put them in the sea. You know, like a pair of your old granda's fucking curtains from the living room. They're just clarted in fog smoke, nicotine. They're thick as anything. They're going to put them under the sea. And it is, hey, it's comical. Can I see them doing that one? I don't know. I can't see it. Would I rule it out? Probably not. I remember we looked at all the different scenarios in regards to ideas. And I think the funniest one for a long time for me was the one about, we're going to make a big mirror. So we're going to make a big mirror. Do you know, like your wife's got, when she puts on her makeup, it's a big circular mirror. And what we're going to do is it's going to be gigantic, right? Huge, humongous. And what we're going to do is we're going to send it in a rocket up into what people call space, right? We'll call it that just now. And it's going to open up and it's going to be a big, gigantic mirror. And it's going to somehow reflect the sun away from... What, we needed the sun? Oh, we don't need it. We don't need the sun anymore. It's a conspiracy theory. No, you don't need it. And yeah, that one I always thought, nah, fucking hell, they won't do that. But then I started to think, well, actually, that sounds a wee bit like it could be some kind of energy weapon. Do you know? And I'm pretty sure the thought came to me when... I mean, it should have came to me before, to be fair. But I'm sure it's not it's an animated film. It's not A Bug's Life. It's the other one, Ants, I think it's called. Yeah, it's about the ants. And that's quite an interesting movie as well. But there's a point in there where there's two ants and they're running away from this big beam of energy. And of course, it's some guy with a bloody magnifying glass. And there's this big beam of energy. And I thought, maybe if they do somehow erect what they call a space mirror, then it won't actually be to protect me and you. It'll be to fucking kill us. That's what it'll be. Because, hey, let's be honest, that's what they're good at. You know, they talk about, we're at war with them and this and that and this. No, you're at war with us. Me and you. We're at war. A lot of people might not see it, they might not think it, but we are. We are. And we'll talk about it a wee bit more. What we'll probably do, what are we, 34 minutes on the clock and counting. We'll get into it. What we'll do is we'll say hello in the comments, right? We'll say hello and then a bit of a show. We've got us. Hey, if you've been here before, you'll know we do a bit of a slide show. A PowerPoint. People might call it a PowerPoint. I don't know what I'd call it, to be honest. You'll have to put a name to it yourself. Basically, it's a slideshow. And I wanted to kind of echo a paper that came out in terms of so-called unintended consequences. Yeah. But also touch on some of the latest news. Now, I mean, about 10 years ago, if you went up to someone on the street and said, do you know what geoengineering is? They would have said, geo what? I'd imagine that's exactly what they would have said. Geo, okay, what now? He's smoking. But today, I don't know. I mean, we know about it, but do many people, to be actually, not last, it was last week. I was reading an article, and I think it was one we're going to talk about tonight. And a guy said to me, "Oh, what are you reading?" and I said it's an article on geoengineering. I was a bit unsure to say. And to be fair, that he was just a young guy. I think in his early 20s. And he was like, oh, what's that? So he had never heard of it. But I think more and more people are beginning to hear about it. And I hate to say it. I really, honest to God, hate to say it. But it is going to happen. They will implement stratospheric aerosol injection. And when they do, it will be the perfect cover for the already committed crime of the chemtrailing of me and your reality for fucking decades. Decades now. That'll be gone. Swept under the rug. Hail geoengineering. And there's nothing new under the sun. And as per usual, the doting human will indeed dig his own grave. There you go. Hopefully, I'm wrong, of course, right? But if they do, and it is, in my own personal view, it must be stopped. It has to be stopped. It must be stopped. Now, we will talk about a wee bit, when will it be implemented? When is it likely to come out? There is a bit of news in regards to that. But that'll change, I can guarantee it. And I've talked about this particular scenario before, mainly because back in 2022, we covered an article from, I don't know, fucking Science Daily or some pish. And they had all the experts and they were saying, look, hey, sit down, let me tell you this. There is going to be events, big, gigantic, scary weather events in the near future. And when these events take place, people are going to have their mind, in their words, have their mind sharpened to the idea of geoengineering. And I think currently, as we speak, there is indeed a hurricane, seemingly quite a big one, right above my house. No, it's not. It's in the Caribbean. And I think Jamaica. So Cool Runnings is getting a bit of a tanking. And I think it's going to head back across the ocean and then finish in the UK. So we'll get the brunt of it as well. The kind of remnants of it, if you like. And I'm sure it's called Hurricane Melissa. And I'm keeping an eye on it. Because, yeah, going back to what we've seen in 2022, they told us, look, things are going to fucking happen. People are going to start saying, hey, wait a minute, what was that good idea or not so good idea about geoengineering? Because we need to do something and we need to do it fast. Because, mitigation by, well, me and you, seemingly we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. We're not recycling enough. We're still driving. We're still eating. We're still breathing. Shocking. So that'll need to change, right? That'll need to change. So what we'll do is we'll get an audio check. What is that? We'll get an audio check. We'll do a quick hello. And then we'll get down to it. I reckon we could be possibly, hey, actually, I'm not going to say how long because I don't know. I do not know. I'm hoping not too long, but we'll see how it goes. So if I go all the way back to the very, 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 very beginning of time at, I don't know, what time did Sean? 5:30 in the afternoon. Sorry, in the evening. In the evening, it would be, get him off. It would be in the evening. So good to see Sean in the hood. No job here. Quite right. I'm assuming that's the juice job and not a left job or a right job. Maybe it's all of them, right? Maybe it's all of them. Good to see you, Sean, our Irish brother in the hood. Of course, we have quite a few. One of the great things here is we're not limited to Scotland or England or, I don't know, Waleshire. We're right across the board in the UK and in Ireland as well. God's second country, of course. And Wales and England can fight over who's third place, right? And we get quite a few people from that sort of direction. Great people, and it's great to see Sean. Why did that do that? Honestly, technology, right? Where would we be? Anybody? Oh, Jay Hart, there you go, Jay Hart. I hope you're doing good. Back again. I hope you're doing well. Petra in the Hood, a long-term sufferer of that's life, but not as we know it. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Carl is here. Good to see you, Carl. Again, a long-term sufferer of Talbanoki. I hope you're doing good. And of course, our English brother Toffee in the Hood. I hope you're doing well. Starting on time. What the is going on? Hey, I'm not late all the time, surely. Am I? Am I late all the time? What, for everything? Okay, maybe I am. Maybe, right? Hey, it's good to see that someone would even notice if I was on time. So there you go. Good to see you, Toffee, and it was good to hear you on Paul and Sue's stream last night. Yeah, we'll go with that. And I am going to be, well, I should, and I probably shouldn't say this, but over the next few weeks, I should have a wee bit more time to get on. So that could be good or it could be bad, right? Time will tell. Hopefully. So I'll try my best to get on a wee bit more. Been a lot less in the past due to, well, life, I guess, basically. But yeah, I should have a wee bit more time, at least for the next 3, possibly 4 weeks, right? Don't worry, I'm not dying in 3 weeks. It's not that, don't worry. There's no big announcement coming up, right? God granted, of course. Who else did I see? Toffee's here. Good to see you, Toffee. Carl, Nathan in the Hood. I hope you're doing well, Nathan. And Penny, great to see you. TikTok in the Hood. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it can be. It can be. It certainly can be. In the northeast of Bonnie, Scotland. He's had a stroke. Get him off. Good to see you, Petra. TikTok. Keep the crazies in the northeast. Yeah, well, why not? Why not? Why not? Roscoe as well. Our brother from down the road. I hope you're doing well in Bonnie, Scotland, of course. Good to see you. Oh, it's Linda. Good to see you, Linda. Singular had a singular scar here yesterday. Just the one. Well, you're quite lucky, right? Although, to be fair, I think today and the past 2. Yeah, there's not been much, to be fair. It's been quite. I've been keeping an eye out and it's been quite low. Interesting, they seem to pick and choose when the traffic is going to be high, going to be frequent, going to be low, going to be less, which would kind of point to a bit more planning being in how these aircraft, what paths they take, what times they take. So yeah, good to see you, Linda. Hunter, all the way down under, of course. So we've got Scotland, Ireland, Australia, TikTok, who is in Nigeria, I think. Carl, who is in, bloody hell, I should remember. I don't. I think it could be America. Sensum in the Hood, our curry loving, golf playing English brother. I hope you're doing well. And of course, yeah, remember this Saturday, don't forget, I'll be watching. This Saturday, we'll be live. So, hey, you can hit that link and you can put a notification and you can get subscribed and you can do it now. No, don't do it now. Wait, right? Just wait. Good to see you, and I look forward to Saturday with yourself and Toffee, right? And I think 2 weeks from then, Saturday, I will be live again with Ragnar Iron Spear Chucker, I think his name is, full name. So that again, that'll be on his side of the hood. So his neck of the woods, which is of course Ireland, but the north of Ireland, right? Someone's got to stay there. That's what he said. Someone's got to do it, right? Good man, Ragnar. I have a lot of time for Rags, so I look forward to that. And in good time, I'll share it and people can check it out. So what I'll do is I'll try and speed it up a bit, and we'll get through it in quick time. Toffee, Linda, Roscoe, Jacqueline. Good to see you, Jacqueline, in the hood. TikTok. Where's Kieran? Should have seen Kieran. I prefer Snickers. Is that Knickers or Snickers? I think you mean Snickers, right? Instead of going to the planet Mars, of course. More of vice versa, myself. Do you still get them? Nah, they're racist now. You don't get vice versas anymore. Too racist. Too racist, you see. Jacqueline, Roscoe, and hopefully we can get an audio check as well. Kieran, good to see you, Kieran, in the hood. I hope you're doing well. In Ireland, of course. Let me see. Anybody that I missed? Stephen in the hood. I hope you're doing well, Stephen. Toffee, TikTok, J Hart. There's quite a lot. Lance as well. Probably too many to get through. Paul is here. Good to see you, Paul. Mr. O'Neill in the hood. I hope you and Sue are doing well. Jesus, that blast from the past. Yeah, QAnon, right? Quite funny. Some of the stories with QAnon. But there you go, right? Don't worry. Sit down. It's going to be fine. Trump's got it. I mean, Trump, fucking hell. Don't get me started, man. Do not even get me started. Mr. Irish in the hood. Good to see you as well. Good name, Mr. Irish. Possibly new. Hope you're doing well. And welcome if indeed you are. And I reckon TikTok Paul Toffee since we got there. Orange is the new green. Yeah, possibly. Do you know what's funny? I quite like the color orange. I'm going to be getting called a Illuminati exposed now. He likes orange. It's the only color. I nearly said number. It's the only color that equates to 33. So, yeah, it's not a color you're allowed to like. But do you know I'm sick of them stealing everything? It's like, nah, fuck you. You're not stealing orange from me. You're not stealing it. They've already stole. Well, for example, do you know how the whole symbolism regarding the owl? They've stolen all that, and I'm a massive admirer of birds of prey. Yeah, they fascinate me. Just blow my mind away, which is not hard to be fair. Gone. They blow it away. So and I love owls, man. I've seen a few out and about in the past, and any time I see them, I'm just kind of in awe. Like, oh wow, there's an owl there, and I'm never scared. The last one as well. It was right beside me, so I walked past a tree, and it flew right out the tree, like just past the top of my head, and then it done like this big circular swoop in the field, and then swooped again, and then it flew away. But this whole time, I just stood there in absolute awe, watching it doing this just majestic kind of swoop around the field. Not once, but twice, kind of like checking it because my dog was there as well. But it was funny because the dog never scared it. The dog was in front of me. He was well in front, and he went in the field. But it wasn't until I walked past the tree that it flew out, and I thought, fucking hell, the heck is that, right? And I was just like, wow, it's an owl, adult male barn owl, but it was big. I'm sure it was a barn owl. But it was definitely big, but just majestic and not a sound, even coming out the tree, not a sound, not the branches and the flapping, like a pigeon, a pigeon or a crow or a seagull. You hear its wings a fucking mile away, just not a sound. Like you would have heard a pin drop and it flew, and it must have only flapped its wings like twice, and it done a big gigantic circle. And yeah, it made my day. It made my day, that's for sure. So yeah, they're not taking that, and they're not taking the color orange from me. I'm not having it, right? So yeah, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Definitely had a cockatoo. Hey, look, I'll do the jokes here. You leave that to me, right? Why did I read that out? I should have missed that one. A cockatoo. Yeah, I would prefer a parrot, to be fair. I know Sensum is he seemingly, as far as he told me, he had I think it was a cockatoo and cockafree eventually. So there you go. Hey, takes all sorts to make the world go round, if indeed that's what it does, right? If indeed that's what it does. So good to see everyone. And did we get an audio check? Possibly not. I did have a look, but I think we could be okay. I've not had people saying, I can't hear you. Switch on your mic. Shit, is it on? I've done that before. Whole stream, mic was off, and it's like, whoops. Professionalism, right? Professionalism. So I reckon we're good to go. Of course, I can always take Sensum's word for it. We've got 2 clowns in tonight. Shocking. Of course, they would be from the trio of Trouble. Yeah, just put Sensum on a timeout. And put up guy from Liverpool as well. Pretty sure he's a Liverpool fan. Hey, good to see Liverpool's demise, right? Yeah. Well, it is for me anyway. It's good for me. So I think we could be all good for the audio, which is great. We went about an hour, which is about usual for the whole kind of weird intro, monologue-y fucking getting into it talk that we do. Of course, none of it is. It's never scripted or anything like that. I noticed on StreamYard now you can put what do they call it again? The wee monitor where you can read a script off it. Like the cards, so you can read a script. It's never that. To be fair, I don't think I could. I can only do that in a pre-record. Even then, it's a bit I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, man. And I can never be. I think a few times in the past, thinking back, I would take notes and have a I don't know, clipboard of notes, and the majority of time I wouldn't even look at them. So it was like pointless in the end. There's always something to be said. A lot of the monologues in the past, if we can call it that, they've usually came from a comment that's came up, and then I've talked about it for about fucking an hour or a 2 hours, right? So blame the people in the comments. Let's go with that. So I reckon we could be good to go. What I should be able to do now is bring up a slideshow. And of course, yeah, the topic is geoengineering. And hey, and I've said this before, someone, what year, I'm unsure. It was quite early. in the That's Life But Not As We Know It saga. And someone came on and said, look, I think, to be fair, I think they were just trying to give me a bit of advice, right? A bit of friendly advice, but it could have been different. Who knows? But they said, oh, look, if you're going to talk about chemtrails and geoengineering, no one's going to watch it. No one wants to see it. No one wants to hear it. And of course, that was kind of basically the wrong thing to say. But hey, maybe it was reverse psychology. Look, don't talk about that. And I'm like, well, I fucking will, right? But either way, I would be anyway. It stems from a concern, a kind of major concern, without it consuming your soul. It's one. I mean, I've got a few major concerns with the world that we're in, but this is one of them, and it's right up there for me. So I won't be letting it go. If it's the end of me, then so be it. Yeah, fuck it. You're only here once, right? And funnily enough, the guy Max Egan, remember we sort of discussed him a wee bit in the past. The guy who ran away to Mexico, sombrero, tequila. Because in Mexico, you're safe, right? No one can get you in Mexico. He's away over there now. We can't get him now. Yeah, I wish, if only, there was some way you could have a cartel or a mafia in Mexico. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, right? So, I seen that Marx had put out a video, and I used to be I've nothing against Marx, I've really not. But I just find some things quite interesting, intriguing. And I'm going to have my own view. Whether people like it is another story, but I'm gonna. So yeah, Marx, I think in maybe 2022 or 2023, seemingly his life was in danger. So PC Plod at the door. We're here to, I don't know, ransack your house and put you 6 feet under. So I think Marx, going by what he said, he had good information. If I remember correctly, he had good or information from a good source that he was going to be getting taken out. So Marx had, I guess you would have two choices. Do you stay? Do you fight? Or do you run away? And of course, Marx decided to do the latter, which again, that's up to him. That's, hey, if that's the way, what he wants to do, the way he wants to be, so be it. So be it. But it wouldn't be me. It would not be me. It would not be me. And in my own kind of view, anybody in the position that he was in to do such a thing is very, 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 very disheartening, very demoralizing for a lot of people. And I know it was. In particular, a lot of Australian people at the time who thought better of Max Egan, we'll call him that for the time being. They thought better. They thought, well, wait a minute. He would stand and fight, right? He would stand and fight. But he never. But what caught my eye is recently, because I think YouTube said, look, some of you can get your channel back now, right? We're going to be kind. We believe in free speech now. Here, you can have it back, like fucking throwing a dog a fucking bone or I don't know, a shitty nappy. And they all jumped at it as well, which I find quite interesting because for a very long time, it was, come away from YouTube, boo YouTube. Look at us, we've got our own platform now. We're over here now. Fuck YouTube. Then all of a sudden, welcome back to YouTube now. You know, it's a circus, man. But Marx had put out a video saying, I'm sure it might be misquoting, but it said something like, this is a hill to die on. And I thought, fucking hell, what a brass neck that is. What a brass neck that is. Coming from a guy who ran away from his own country. A country he claimed to fight for. He wanted to protect. He believed in the people. So that clearly was not a hill that was good enough to die on. And if I was an Australian, I would not even be giving Max Egan a thought. Honestly. Does it mean that Max Egan is not worth listening to? Probably not. He probably is worth listening to be honest. Does it mean he's a controlled opposition? I wouldn't say so. Could he be? He could be. He might well be. There could I don't know. Hey, there could be many ways it could have played out. There could have been a deal. He could be. A lot of people, even before the runaway to Mexico, said to me in good faith that Max Egan was indeed worth a watching in terms of he might not be who you think he is. So, hey, again, always remember, listen to everyone, but believe nothing, man. Don't. Do your own digging, do your own research, right? And watch who you put your faith into. Watch who you put your weight behind. Because the majority of time you'll get egg on your face, and hey, we know what that's like, right? Do we? Probably. Who's not done that? Who's not had egg on their face? Why would anyone want to live in Mexico? I don't know. Tequila, piñata, getting chased by the American border force. That would be quite fun. That would be fun, right? Maybe not. But yeah, I guess I know quite a few people who I know. They holiday in Mexico, I think mostly once a year, twice a year. And to be fair, they've always had quite good stuff to say about it. But of course, that'll be your holiday resort, away far away from the riffraff, right? That'll be the kind of resort material. And I do know someone, well, I don't know them personally, but I guess know them through online, I think Telegram and YouTube. And he does indeed, as far as I know, stay in Mexico. And he says it's not too bad. I think he originally stayed in Scotland or the UK anyway. Went out to Mexico and he says it's quite good. He wouldn't come back. He's staying there forever now. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I remember I talked to the guy about during the whole COVID scenario, because Mexico, they bent over as well. Shock horror. But do you know, Mexico had already started, even I think before the scam-demic, they were like, there were stores where you don't go in, just it's like a vending machine outside. So you either order it or you'll pay your money at the vending machine. And I was saying, yeah, well, if they, I think if you look at Glasgow and the big cities, well, anywhere really these days, in Scotland or the UK, most of them it would get robbed, it would be emptied in an hour or two, it would get filled up, and then it'd be fucking emptied again. But of course, in Mexico, it's a different game altogether. A completely different ball game. People who rob it, well, basically, their head will be on the pavement the next fucking day. The next day, man. So it ain't worth your while in Mexico stepping on anybody's toes in terms of the business, because it's all controlled by it's the mafia, right? So maybe it is a better, maybe, fuck it, how much is the house in Mexico? Fuck it. We're moving to Mexico. Look out, Max. I'm sorry, Max. I was joking. It's all good now, right? It's all good. Nah, hey, I've got nothing against Max, to be fair. But I just find some things they I don't know, wouldn't sit well with me. But hey, each to their own, right? Each to their own. So yeah, we'll book flights and see what we think of Mexico. See what we think. Of course, we've got a bloody mafia here in the UK. It's called the Labour Party. The worst mafia you could imagine, right? Oh, there's Norman as well. Good to see you, Norman. With all you have in savings and pounds, come to sunny South Africa. Ka, with an added echo. Yeah, that would be great, to be fair. I like the idea of the wildlife in there. Maybe not getting chased by it, to be fair, but a big fan of nature. And I guess you could be on safari and what have you in South Africa. But yeah, maybe one day, who knows, right? You never know in this world that we're in. But good to see you, Norman. I hope you're doing well. A relentless worker, Norman is. So it's great to see you. Anybody else there quickly that I missed? We're all good. What I'll do is I'll try and keep an eye on the comments section. And yeah, I'll try and keep engagement going with questions and what have you. Don't worry, no pressure. There's no mathematical questions. There's nothing like, what's the capital of Canada? Alabama. Yeah, let's go with that. So you don't have to worry. There's going to be, there could be some hard questions, to be fair. There could be. Because, hey, and my dad always said this to me, and I always thought, but it doesn't even make sense. Why do you say that? And he would always say, the questions are only easy if you know the answer. If you don't, well, you're fucked then, right? So we're good to go. On a plane as well. Good to see you. I see on a plane over at Sonia Poulton's community, right? I quite like Sonia. In terms of so-called journalism, even. Yeah, I quite like Sonia. I think she's quite good. Am I saying, look, go and marry her? That's not what I'm saying. But I tend to enjoy her take. She comes across, again, this is all kind of gut instinct. She comes across quite genuine. So yeah, I like to go there when I can. When I'm not working, I'll hang about in the chat like a fucking loiterer. He's loitering again. And of course, Richie Allen. I like him as a journalist. John Waters. The guy John Rappaport. Although I don't hear much about him today. I used to think he was quite a good journalist. That's about it. To be honest, that's it. You can count with your fucking one hand, man. One hand. I don't think there's any journalists in the so-called mainstream media. There's not. There can't be. There can't be. So we'll get down to it. Good to see Mr. Barron, Frank Barron, all the way from across the water in God's second country. Beautiful Ireland, of course. Hope you're doing well. Let me just move that because that might be an issue. And we're good to go. Good to see you, Frank. I seen you last night as well on Sue's panel and Toffee as well. That was quite good. Good to hear from people and see what the crack is. William, check out Jake G TV. Funny stuff, right? Hey, I'll decide what's funny. But yeah, I'll take your word for it. If I do indeed remember, maybe what you can do is you can put a comment after the stream is done and say, remember, this is where to go. But to be fair, YouTube will probably fucking delete it because they're good at that, right? But sometimes we get the engagement can be, the engagement on during a stream is usually quite high in terms of the volume of messages, sometimes over 1,000. I think average probably about between 7 and 900. But in terms of engagement after a stream, it's pretty much zero. So it's like a fucking flash in the pan, man, and then it's finished. And what's kind of annoying is that the comments that get put up, the majority of the time, well, 9 times out of fucking 10, any stream that I do, and I always kind of make sure you click a wee button, it's about putting the chat replay, so the chat comes back up when people come back. But of course, even when I do that, YouTube still decide, well, actually, we're going to take it away. Yeah, it's a bit risky. It might hurt someone's feelings, or I don't know, there's too much truth in it, possibly. Probably all three of them, to be fair, because we've got a great bunch of people and we have a laugh and a joke, and there is a lot of opinions that get put across. But it's like, fucking hell, man, give us a chance, give us a break. Taking it away. So we could get 1,000 comments in the chat, and then people who come in after it, they're not going to see it. I tend to blame Frank O'Brien, Frank the information tank, of course. But I wouldn't have Frank any other way. So don't think that if you are there, Frank the tank, don't think I don't want you to be the way you are. Be the way you are on some, right? Don't be fucking self-censoring. Nobody should be. That's another thing we got during the whole 2020. I remember someone said to me, oh, look, when you're talking about lockdowns, don't say the word lockdown. And I'm like, what? Are you for real? Don't say the word lockdown. Right, sure. And of course, we had to kind of, I mean, I thought, fuck it, I can't bring myself to not even say that, you know? But of course, when we talk about the juice, the wonder juice, yeah, we had to kind of, we couldn't say vaccine because the AI would be like, fuck, he said it quickly. He's on, the ears would be up against the wall, like, oh, they're talking about the juice now. So we call it the juice. People usually know what we're talking about. But there is still, even though YouTube have came out and said, look, people can get their channel back now. Hooray, it's rainbows. Look at us. We're good people now. They're still tyrannical. You still can't say certain things, and I've still got a warning, and of course I got a strike. Well, not a strike, but a warning again for the live stream that we done with Sensum in yeah, it wasn't medical misinformation, but it was AI, I don't know, the misuse of AI technology, something like that. And of course it was Sensum's fucking political porn that he had. Let's not get into it, right? That's for another day. That's for another day. For another person somewhere else. So we're good to go. Yeah. A lot of people, they never wanted to say lockdown, and quite comical, to be honest. Do you know? Or just say, what was it? LD. Just say LD. And I thought, nah. But then when it came to the juice, you never really had a choice because, I mean, the amount of strikes that we got was quite astonishing. And like I said before, the channel got deleted twice. It got reinstated twice. Now, during that time of being deleted, YouTube took it upon themselves to say, right, your channel's deleted, but what we're going to do is remove that video. We'll take that video. Oh, that one as well. That one too. Oh, yep, we're going to take that one. And then week after week, month after month, email after email, we've removed video. We've removed a video. We've removed... Honestly, and I was sitting there thinking, wait a fucking minute here. I thought the channel was deleted. Why is it still there and they're still removing videos? Do you know? Quite interesting thinking back and I guess hindsight. It's like they always knew. They must have always known that these individuals, myself included, would indeed get the channel back, which is quite interesting. So yeah, we're good to go. All good in the hood. What I'm gonna do is I'll make it bigger. Yep, I've never said that before. How do I do it? And I've definitely never said that before. Boom. There we go. Now, how do I get that away? There we go. Sorted. As good as gold, right? As good as gold. So yeah, we're going to get into geoengineering. We're now at 9:20. I reckon we'll go quite late. It could be quite late, right? So buckle in, strap on. Well, maybe not that, but strap in, right? Be prepared. It's not going to be. Hey, I can only be as honest as I can. And in the past, people have said, in particular on Facebook, when I was doing the last Jacobites, oh, it's fear mongering. It's fear mongering. It's just fear mongering. And they said it in that voice, I'm pretty sure. And I used to think, fuck off, man. Honestly. Why can we not just be honest and open about the way things are and how we truly feel about it without being worried that, oh, well, someone might think it's fear mongering. Someone might get anxiety. Which, hey, a lot of the time they would probably, to be fair, if they're not quite awakened to the world that we're in. Yeah, they might get anxious, but again, this all comes back to the individual. What do you want to do? How do you, in your mind, think the world should be? Where do you think we should be setting goals and dreams? What should it be about? What should be a priority in your view? Because I bet you, if you went out in the street and asked, I don't know, 10 people, there would be 10 different fucking answers. So what would that tell you? Honestly, what would that tell you? Every single individual has got a different idea of where they think the world should be. And it's an interesting thought. It's one that I like to kind of entertain quite a lot. How do I see it? What's my kind of values and morals? Would people agree? Probably fucking not, to be honest. Probably not. Would there ever be a what's the word? Harmonious? would there ever be a harmonious kind of viewpoint that we could somehow stretch across the board to kind of put us on the right track, at least? I don't know. But I live in hope, right? I live in hope. I've seen a lot that can give me strength. I've seen a lot that gives me hope in humanity. Even under all the trials and tribulations, including my own, and on a personal level, fuck me, man. Oh man, honestly, and it enough to end many people. But you've got to be strong. You've got to keep going, because no matter who you are, people will be looking up. You will be an example to someone. I can guarantee it. So we stay strong. We keep going. And again, you channel, in my own view, what we need to do is channel as much as we can, energy wise, into what we believe is a priority. So where does your priorities lie? And a lot of the time, for many people, if not most people, in the UK at least, priority is getting food on the fucking table. That's it. Week by week, sometimes day by day. That's it. They can't, and it's no fault of their own for a lot of them anyway. They can't think beyond that. And of course, the world that we're in now, the rich get richer and the poor, well, the poor just fucking die, basically. And I'm not saying I'm rich, because I'm far from it. But I'm a lot more, I'm in a much better position now than I was, say, maybe 20, 25 years ago. And I've seen poverty. I've seen it. And that was 20 years ago. And it's still there today in Scotland. Kids starving. No, just their health just, oh man, incredibly just undernourished. Kids, man, in the UK. Children in the U-fucking-K. Starving. Families with no money. Families that work that have got no money. That work. I mean, how does that even happen? That's another thing that somehow, I don't know, maybe in the last 10, 20 years, 10, 15 years, at some point, somehow, this term, the working poor, came out of the fucking woodwork. And it's one that just should not be. It should not be, man. When someone is working, he should not be poor. His family should not be depending upon a fucking food bank. So maybe priorities in terms of feeding people, that could be a goal. But hey, forget that. The priority, and Mr. Musk said so, is going to Mars, of course. And don't forget, net zero. Because net zero is the golden carrot. It's the number one target. We must achieve it. We must get there. We must. Or humanity is doomed. That's the kind of idea in a lot of people's minds. And I've seen it in students in the college. They have this huge, gigantic concern about the environment, the world that we're in, the whole carbon emission scenario, to a point where, and it's a big thing now, to a point where they've got what they call climate anxiety. They're depressed, man. They're fucking suicidal. They do not want to live because in their mind, they think They're the ones that are killing the planet. But it could not be any further from the truth, unfortunately. And even to the point where a lot of these young people now, they don't even want to reproduce because they don't want to bring a child into the world the way it is now. I mean, yeah, that's going to see us all right then, right? Hooray! Now, of course, I probably shouldn't mock these. I mean, they're a lot of they're young people, but they're brainwashed. They've got to be. They've got to be brainwashed in their priorities, their moral compass. It's fucking gone, man. It's gone. Will it ever come back? I don't know. Do you know, that's one thing a lot of people have said in the past. Well, what's the point? People don't listen. And that can be one of the hardest things when year after year you continue to work and research and trying to help people and trying to get them to see. But they don't, man, and they'll dismiss you. They'll point, they'll laugh, they'll even mock you. And that it's a kick in the stones, man. It can be disheartening. But again, you've got to be strong. You've got to be, and I know you can be talking to people until you're blue in the face, but you need to keep going, man. You've got to keep going. Now, you could say, look, it'll mean nothing. You'll die if you do. You'll die if you fucking don't. Yeah, probably true. But if you take, for example, right, 2020 to, I don't know, today even, because they're still inoculating. They're still rolling out the juice at the fucking, the juice factory, the abattoir. But between, let's say, 2020, 2021, 2022, people like myself and a lot of people here got on to any platform they could and said, look, right, don't get me wrong, not a doctor, not a medical expert, far from it, but please, 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 whatever you do, think about it. Stop and at least wait. Do not knee-jerk rush into any decision in terms of getting the juice. Don't. There was no need. There was no, at that particular point, there was no, fucking hell, look at all the people piling up, right? Everybody go and get juice. There was none of that. None of it. And of course, a lot of people did. They thought, well, actually, I'm not going to bother doing it because, well, I feel that I don't have to. I think I'll be okay. I'll look after myself, right? Shock horror. But then, of course, what I call the three B's came in. So not the bzzz, not them. B, the letter B. The three B's, yeah. Which is, of course, bribe, bully, and blackmail. That's how they got the majority of people to fall for it. It was the only way they could. That, on top of that, a whole advertising campaign where they spent billions and billions of pounds and dollars on advertising this secret sauce that was save all and protect all. I mean, if it was that good, you wouldn't even need to advertise it. Come on. You wouldn't need politicians promoting it day in, day out, till they're blue in the face, man. People would have known. People would have been rushing to get it. And that's another one where people have came on and said, look, don't talk about that. It was in 2020. Why are you still talking about that? It's gone now. Oh, man. Maybe that was reverse psychology again. Well, I'm going to talk about it. I think, I mean, we always kind of touch on it from time to time, but I think we will do a stream that'll kind of focus on the whole madness of 2020 and beyond. I might even open up the panel, but hey, it would risk getting a strike But hey, what? It's not like we've never had a strike before, right? I mean, I've lost count. I've literally lost count of the strikes that we've had in the past. Not many of late, but we've certainly had plenty. Let me see. Why is this? It's on the wrong fucking slide. Ah, there we go. I wondered what was going on. It helps when you know what you're doing, right? Who's doing this again? Who's doing the live stream? I don't know, probably YouTube. They own the channel. They seem to be the one that owns the channel. Like I said, in 2022, when it got deleted, I thought, well, yeah, it got deleted. I got it back. And then I thought, wait a minute, whose channel is this? Is it mine? Is it YouTube's? I seem to have no control over it. Do you know? Do I really want to be working for Google? I mean, fuck, they're the exact kind of company that we just talked about. They're the ones that'll come knocking. And yeah, they'll take you out, man. We done a good one on that company, Marconi. Is it Marconi? Fucking hell, they were brutal, them. The Marconi. I think we might need to revisit that particular scenario. Yeah, it was quite a good one. People in the past have said out of the blue, oh, that Marconi one stream that you did was really good. So maybe we should stick to doing stuff like that. But with that said, that would be a very dangerous game for me. I remember doing the Marconi stream and thinking, fucking, do I really want to go down that road? You know? Are they going to come knocking at my door? Well, if they do, they do. Because again, hey, we're all going to die one day. Each and every single one of us. Now, AI, artificial intelligence. King's College London, May 22nd, 2025. Will AI make geoengineering a viable response to climate change? It's the answer. It's the... fuck, what's the phrase again? It's the silver bullet. So it's been touted a wee bit as this silver bullet, right? But in the same in the same breath, they're kind of saying, well, it's not a silver bullet, but people think it is, but it's not, right? So what we're going to see, again, this is my own view, but in the near future, they're going to be talking more and more about how, if they begin to implement geoengineering, it should be controlled by artificial intelligence, because the doting wee human, he'll be biased, or he'll want the best for his country and his country only. We can't have that now. You know, we can't be robbing Peter to pay Paul, because seemingly that's what happens when you geoengineer. You rob Peter to pay Paul. Or is it you rob Paul to pay Peter? One of them, right? It's one of them. So I reckon, and maybe going out on a wee bit of a limb, but I reckon when they do eventually come out and say, look, we're going to be implementing geoengineering across the board, right across the world, to save humanity from the humans. Yeah, sure. Why not? But what it's going to be controlled by, in their words anyway, is artificial intelligence. The smartest of the smartest. Super duper grok. So, I don't know, fucking Chat GPT and Grok, they'll get jiggy, spend the night together, create this wee baby, and it'll be the birth of the super AI that's going to control the fucking world. Well, that's what they'll tell you. That's what they'll tell you. They'll say, look, AI's got control. AI makes the decision. But it won't be. It won't be. Don't buy it. It won't be. See, the powers that be, the real powers that be that pull the strings, do you honestly think they would hand their power over to a fucking computer? No. Good. Because I don't either. Of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. But AI for them is going to be the ultimate tool. The ultimate tool. Because once they implement it everywhere and AI begins to make all the fucking decisions in the world, when there's one that goes a bit tits up, let's say, well, who's going to get the blame? Well, AI gets the blame. Oh, it was AI. But hey, what you gonna do, right? Fucking computer technology. What you gonna do? Hmm? But it won't be. Of course, they paint a picture. Oh, it's got no favor. There's no bias. It's very neutral. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. Don't buy that. Do not buy it. And don't buy that AI might somehow get a fucking mind of its own and take over the world. It won't happen. They could make it. They could make it like that's what happened, but it won't be. It will not. I can guarantee you they will not hand over power if there's any even minute chance that they might lose it completely. They won't, but they will, in my own view, again, they will use AI as a face. It'll be the front. Well, AI done it. And people will buy it. They'll be like, oh, it was AI. I've never been able, and I know a lot of people out there, they're kind of worried about what AI might become, and oh, it's going to wake up and fucking out of a dream and just kill all the humans. Hey, I'm open to anything, to be fair, but I can't see it. I can't see it. If it does do that, then it's going to be under orders from the people that pull the string, the hidden hand. That's who it'll be. It won't be AI. Remember, these computers, fuck me, it's a computer, and it's programmed by a person, by a human. And it won't be me, it won't be me or you who's programming it. And again, it's very similar to most things in this world. Starts off with good intentions, yeah. And it could be a good thing, possibly, but only in the right hands. When it's in the wrong hands, then we're in deep, soapy bubble. Shock horror. So expect to hear more in the way of, oh, well, geoengineering and AI are going to be intertwined. Then AI can get the blame, right? We'll blame AI. Why not? Digit AI, right? So I want to show you again, 6 days ago, so about a week ago now, New Scientist, the go-to. For all you need to know, it's a proper go-to. New Scientist. It's even got scientist in the name. It's like it's got the white jacket on with the pen in the pocket. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Here, take this. What does this do? I don't know. Fucking just take it. So the go-to for all you need to know. Exclusive. Dun, dun, dun. Climate scientists expect attempts to dim the sun by, wait for it, 2100. So, by 2100 or 2100, some of the experts reckon geoengineering will be taking place. Now, you kind of think, well, what are we at now? 2025, seemingly. So I probably won't be here in 2100, will I? Am I going to be here? Fuck it, we'll ask AI. Don't ask it, it doesn't look good. I don't know, hey, you never know. But we're talking a few years down the line. We're not quite there yet. But I reckon that'll change, I'm afraid. That's going to change. So maybe next year or the year after, a similar article is going to come out and it'll say, well, actually, bit of news on that. It's not 2100 anymore. It's more like 20, I don't know, 50. And then, say, I don't know, a year after that, they're going to come out and say, actually, it's going to need to happen a lot sooner than previously fucking thought. Shock. Horror. Now, that's the way it's going. And we know this, and again, going back to what the people have been saying, the so-called experts in the past, events are going to take place. In my own view, orchestrated events, weather events that have really got to capture the imagination of people right across the board. It's going to happen. They're all, in my own view again, they're all going to be orchestrated. Likely in Western nations. Otherwise, a lot of people in the West, they simply won't care. That's the way it is. So you could be talking, UK. You could be talking Europe, America, most definitely. So when these predicted events that are obviously planned events take place, the 2100 is going to it's going to dwindle all the way fucking down to we actually need to implement it now. Well, what about the testing? Fuck the testing. We don't need it. Oh, in fact, we've already been testing it in a kind of secretive way with the whole chemtrail situation. Because they've kind of already said that. But they said it with the whole shipping trails, because you get trails off of the ships as well. And they create chemtrails, seemingly. So it's going to dwindle. It's going to dwindle all the way down. Could I put a year on it? I don't know, man. If I was to put a year on it, it's not going to be good news, I'm afraid. In my view, you're talking maybe in the next 5 to 6 years' time. So if that, and I hope I'm wrong, but if that is going to be the case, then there is going to be severe weather events that are going to take place, and they're going to blame climate change for it. They're going to blame you. They're going to blame me. But it's not us to blame. And geoengineering, I can tell you right now, is most definitely not the fucking answer. But that's what's going to be put on the table. It'll be the only fucking option on the table. Failing that, a nuclear war exchange is another option they talked about. So you've got geoengineering, the free envelopes on the table, right? One is geoengineering. 2 is, of course, a nuclear exchange. Yeah, but hey, it'll save the planet. Wait, what if we end the planet? Yeah, but fuck it. The scientists know better. Of course they do. So they've got this idea that if we had a nuclear exchange, it would cool down the Earth for, I don't know, fucking 10 year, 100 year. Sounds great, right? And of course, the third option is the option of, well, it's one where it kind of, the whole geoengineering idea springs from. Because the whole geoengineering thing, it began in sci-fi. And it's moved into the real world. But that's happened with many, many things that people, they've not even noticed it happened. Honestly, they've not even noticed that. And so it started off in sci-fi, and now it's moved into the real world, and they're wanting to implement it. But the original kind of idea of it stems from, well, seemingly a volcano erupted. Was it Etna? I can't remember its name now. In, I don't know, fucking a certain year. And they reckoned it cooled down the planet by, I don't know, half a degree. So basically the conclusion was, well, if we fill the sky with volcanic ash and smother the world, block out the sun, hooray, net zero! We've achieved net zero. So the third option would be to deliberately trigger a gigantic volcanic eruption to fucking basically reset the world that we're in. And interestingly enough, of course, there is people out there, not that I'm one of them, but there is people out there who they're under a belief that volcanoes are not seemingly what we're told they are. So I don't know. Take your pick. What would you choose? Option 1, option 2, or option 3? And it's funny, the choice of illusion. Each and every one of them options is going to end up with us being absolutely shafted. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, man. So no matter which road you go down, it's a catch-22 situation. Etna and Sicily. There you go. Toffee's on the ball tonight. Yeah, it was that one. And they always mention it. Oh, well, look at Etna. Look at Aunt Etna back in Sicily. What if we do that? That'll save money as well. That'll save us money. What would you have to do? Drop a fucking bomb in it? I don't know. Drop a nuke in it. Whatever they are. So yeah, there you go. Toffee's on the ball tonight. Etna. What did I say? Did I say Etna? Probably not. To be fair, a huge volcano, that'll do it. Yeah, option 3. So Linda went with option 3. Maybe that is what it's going to be. You know, when you hear about all these so-called multi-millionaires and they're all building and buying bunkers underground and building a fucking city underground. Should that maybe tell us something? Possibly. What are they so afraid of? What are they so afraid of on the surface of the world that we're in? Anyone got an answer to that? Good to see Linda. So we'll jump back to Carmel as well in the hood. Carmel and Rich, my son, my long lost son, all the way. I think he's still in New Zealand or over in New Zealand, visiting Carmel, of course. The shadow of Carmel is our Rich. Quite cool, actually, because Carmel and Rich have this relationship, and they met on That's Life, but Not As We Know It. So there you go. We're matchmaking, right? Great stuff. Anybody else quickly on a plane? Stevie in the hood. They are afraid of purple-haired land whales. Yeah, I've seen a few of them in Scotland. To be fair, usually waving a big fucking rainbow flag, trying to roll their way down the hill. Yeah, you get them in the UK. Yeah, good to see you, Carmel. I hope you're doing well. And my son Rich, I hope you're looking after him. Right? Don't want to be having to ground him again. He said on Telegram, can you guess where I am again? And I was like, oh, not in prison again. Come on. Come on, Rich, not again. But he wasn't. He was in Old Zealand. because you can't call it New Zealand anymore. It's not new anymore. It's ancient now. It's as old as the hills, man, in Scotland. So it's called Old Zealand, right? We're changing it. We're doing like what Trump's doing. Do you know what? It's fucking comical as well. Oh, we're going to take Greenland. Oh, we're going to take that. We might take this. Oh, we're going to change the name of that. Oh, we might take Canada. Oh, we might take Mexico. Oh, we're going to turn Palestine into a fucking Saudi Arabia. Sure. Why not, right? Why not? And what was the other one? Oh, we're going to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And it's quite funny because we talked about this in the past, quite a good few years ago now, talking about Trump. And I can't remember who was it again? Some kind of Mystic Meg entity had predicted. Who was it? It wasn't fucking Nostradamus. It was that mad lady with the like one eye. I can't remember her bloody name now. Not Mystic Meg. But I'm sure it was her, and she said, "Oh, Donald Trump will be the last president of America." And I used to think, nah, I can't see if that's to be true, a true prediction. How could that be? Would America need to be finished? Would it need to be destroyed? Well, actually, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't need to be. It could possibly the prediction could possibly mean the end of America as we once knew it. So America after Trump's gone, it's not going to be the fucking same. It won't be, going by that prediction. I think it maybe was her. Yeah, scary looking bloody Halloween character. I hope that doesn't offend her. She'll be fucking. I'll be getting haunted now. Yeah, I think Baba Gump. So I think she made quite a lot of predictions. I always find that quite funny. Again, hey, I wouldn't put any weight behind any of it, but it's one that I like to entertain. The Nostradamus ones, they're quite interesting. Do you believe them? Probably not. Is it prophecy? Probably not. Do people play on it? Probably, most definitely. But it's interesting. So humanity. Wait, humanity? Was that me and you? That must be me and you. Right. Okay. Humanity will attempt large-scale efforts to block radiation from the sun. Well, we needed the sun. Oh, we don't need it anymore. Okay. Thank God for that. To block radiation from the sun before the end of the century, according to leading climate scientists with the white jackets, the pen in the pocket, the PhD surveyed by the go-to for all you need to know, New Scientist. In a last-ditch bid to shield Earth's inhabitants from the worsening impacts of climate change. Oh dear. Yeah, look at what we're doing to the planet. What did you have for breakfast today? I had a bacon roll, egg, hash brown. Yeah, well, you can't do that anymore. Well, what am I meant to have? Nothing. What about lunch? Now you can't eat. What about dinner? Forget dinner. Right? We're going to be watching how much you breathe eventually. Could it get to that point? Do you know what? A lot of people have said that. I mean, it's a hard one to kind of envision, but I would not rule it out. I would not fucking rule it out. Some kind of monitor, either attached to your body or in your house, that's monitoring how much oxygen you're actually using. I mean, could it get that bad? I would not rule it out. I would not rule it out. I don't think anybody could, to be honest. I don't think anybody could. So, yeah, 2100. I guess we'll find out. Probably before then. Honestly, it's got the syndrome. It'll be an article, and we can see we've seen so many patterns form before us. There's one forming right now, and they will indeed come out, and you can mark this down, man. You can mark it down, honestly, because it will happen. An article will come out, and it'll say, yeah, we fought 2100, but actually we need to do it quicker than previously fought. And people will buy it. They'll buy it hook, line, and sinker. So 1 month ago, the University of Southampton. Now, there's a study. A study got done. Right, so, and it's an interesting one. And we'll explain. I'll try and explain that. So, polar geoengineering ideas will not help and could harm, warns experts. Shock horror. Shock horror. And you kind of think, well, that's good. It's good people are coming out. Sensible people, you would think, are coming out and saying, hey, wait a minute. Don't be doing that. That is not a good idea. No, you don't want to be spraying. No, you don't want the fucking mirror in the sky. No, we don't want curtains. We don't want gigantic iron curtains in the sea, blocking the fucking currents, and God only knows what else. We don't want it. But of course, do we get consulted? Do we bugger? Shock horror, right? But hey, don't forget, humanity's dream is what? Good question. Well, it's to go to Mars. It's to achieve net zero. Protect the planet. We are protectors of the planet now. And of course, the most ironic thing about that is it's kind of the complete fucking opposite. As long as we're following the Pied Piper, we're all pretty much enemies of the world that we're in. So, that came out 1 month ago. Oh, why did that come up? That was not meant to be there. Why am I skipping? Oh, fuck, we missed one. Someone forgot to put one in. Who's doing this? Shit, I think it might be me. So, basically, it was a kind of carbon copy of this article. And it was again it was a different university. But this survey that's been done, it's being pushed out, and the kind of main sort of takeaway from it is that if they do implement geoengineering or polar geoengineering, it's going to be very, very bad news and probably not worth it, and probably going to put us in a worse position than we are now. I mean, the fact that it's even talked about is fucking worrying. And a lot of people, they'll see this and think, well, that's good. They're coming out and saying, look, it's a bad idea. It's not going to stop, I'm afraid. It won't stop. This is all kind of part of the plan. This is all part of it. Because when these events take place, there's going to be no option but to do it. And we're not quite at that point yet, but we're getting there, I'm afraid. And we're getting there fucking fast. Faster than I care to imagine. So before we kind of look at this survey that got done, and the so-called unintended consequences could be dire. I noticed this came out today. Now, I'm pretty sure, maybe it was last year or the year before, we talked about this company a wee bit. It's not a company that I've looked into, but I think we might have to now, because it would not appear that it's going to go away. So, Center for International Environmental Law, CIE, the CIEL. Yeah, totally not like CIA. I mean, if they called it CIA, that would maybe be giving the game away, right? What am I trying to say? That the CIA write media articles? Fucking you bet. You bet. You better believe it, man. You better believe it. No wonder there's no journalism, right? When the CIA, when it's the CIA fucking agents that are writing these articles. Quite comical. So, came out today. US Israeli startup announces reckless solar geoengineering experiments from April 2026. Huh. Reckless solar geoengineering experiments. So this is another company. Remember, we talked about one in quite a bit of detail a couple of years ago called, ironically, well, it was mocking. It was all out mocking. And they called it Make Sunsets. Make Sunsets. That's what they called it. I mean, talk about the ultimate mocking. But this one is it's got another interesting name, and of course it would be Israeli, American Israeli. A lot of people, I mean, Israel. Where you find Israel, you're going to find America. Where you find America, you're going to find Israel. Where you find the UK, you'll find them all. Because they're pretty much one. They are one. And hey, I know for some people, they don't see that. They don't, I don't know, buy it. They don't get it. But they are one entity. And they don't fight for any nation. They certainly don't fucking fight for me or you. So it's usually, yeah, where you find one, you're going to find the other. But it would be Israeli America. Of course it would. If it wasn't, it would be British Israeli, probably. Yeah, it's quite an interesting one. I tend to wonder, the whole Israel-Palestine situation. I wonder what kind of experiments have been going on while this so-called war is taking place, I guess it would be like the perfect opportunity to carry out heinous, dreadful, kind of unimaginable experiments on a population like Palestine. I dread to imagine it, man. I really do. But you do, a lot of people, they'll blame Israel, and I can see why they do. They're always there. But don't fucking forget, America's always there. Britain's always there. And when you look at Israel as well, what kind of resources have they got? They've not got very many. And any that they have got, they fucking stole it. Clearly. But the majority of their funds, it comes from us, or it comes from America. It's like a proxy fucking Britain or America. And while people, a lot of the time, they'll point the finger, in my own view, I would point the finger at each and every fucking one of them. The American powers that be, the British powers that be, the Israeli, right across the board. I would even point fingers at the Palestinian powers that be. Even them. Because they're in on it. Mark my words, they're in on it. And a funny thing that I seen, I don't know if funny is the right word, but it's a strange one. But do you know when they had this whole, oh man, fucking hell, talk about theatre. But you know how they had this whole peace deal scenario? I mean, it was comical, right? Peace deal in a war that's not even a war. Okay, right, sure, why not? 2025. But they had this big, they had this whole like, I don't know, ceremony. Like, hooray, we done it! Fucking playing I'm a real Mr. American. What's the song again? I'm a real American. It played all this fucking God is great. I don't know. Allah Akbar. Trump's the king. Look at what he's done. Oh, there's peace in Israel and Gaza now for eternity. God hail Trump. And within a couple of days, right? Because I tend to keep an eye on different things as well. A few days after it had been announced, oh, we've got a peace deal. It took like 5 minutes and that was it, done. Sure, right, so couldn't do it before, no? Nah, couldn't do it before. But we done it now. Hip hip hooray, and people buy it, I suppose. But like a couple of days after it, there's videos coming out of seemingly Hamas, I don't know, Hamas soldiers, infidels, I don't know what you'd fucking call them. And they're like shooting people on the street. And they've got them lined up. And certain sort of supporters of Palestine, they watched it and said, well, wait a minute. What's going on here? I don't support that. That's not the Palestine I support. You see, what a lot of people don't understand, and again, in my own view, is that Palestine, similar to the UK, similar to every fucking nation across the board, the real people, the me and yous of the world, we get sold out. And a lot of the time, it's by our very own fucking people. Very own. And do you know this? None of them are good. None of them, in my own view, none of them deserve any of your support. And don't get me wrong, for anyone who's a civilian that's caught in the crossfire, my heart goes out to you. It genuinely does. I hate the thought of anybody innocent being hurt, but that's the world we're in, man. That's the world we're in. People want to talk about figures and this and that. How can you believe any of the figures? How could you? Where did it come from? Well, ITV, we didn't believe them. BBC, we didn't believe them. Sky News, fuck that. Al Jazeera, are you fucking having a joke? Al Jazeera. None of them can be trusted. You know? And we're all being played. We're all being played. And it's not just by Israel. We're being played by our own fucking people. Our own people, man. And people, I remember thinking back to 2014 when I was quite a big supporter of Palestine and Scottish independence. And people would say, well, what's the answer? They would talk about a one-state solution. There's no solution. They don't want there to be a solution. And if this so-called peace deal lasts any longer than a fucking day, I'd be very surprised. Very surprised. So to expand on it, where is it? So the US Israeli startup Stardust Solutions. Stardust. Get your dose here of Stardust. Sprinkle. You know, like Mr. Sprinkles. Remember the Simpsons episode? Was that his name? Mr. Sparkle, maybe. Might have been Sparkle. Stardust, right? What is Star? Don't worry what it is. That's not for you to worry about. Stardust is going to save the planet, and there's nothing to worry about. What if I breathe it in? Don't worry if you breathe it in. It's medicine now, remember? It's medicine. Going by the QAnon fanatics, right? But hey, who am I to disagree? So, Stardust Solutions plans to begin outdoor experiments of highly controversial solar geoengineering technology from April 2026. Probably April the fucking 1st. Shock horror. What would that tell you? Answers on a postcard. And it'll be a wee balloon full of fucking chalk and it'll be bullshit. But it's all part of the parade, of course, right? We've talked about this. Similar to the Make Sunsets scenario. So from April Fool's Day 2026, working towards potential deployment this decade. According to a political story published on October 24th and recent updates to Stardust's website. Hooray! So I guess now we give thanks to Israel and America, who are gonna save the day, save the planet. How fitting! How fitting! Yeah, forget about the genocide, but look at this! Stardust for everyone! And remember in the past how we talk about the World Economic Forum and how they predict all the bad things that are going to happen. And Klaus Schwab sits there and goes, "Oh, look, you'll own nothing and you'll fucking be happy, right?" End of story. And we, for a long time, we've said, "Oh, yeah, I can kind of see they're stripping stuff away. They don't want you to own a car. They don't want you to own property. They don't want you to own money. Yeah, we can see them taking everything away." But I'm still a bit confused as to how is everyone going to be happy? Well, the answer, Stardust. Stardust for everyone. Even for the kids in Africa, starving in the caves. Yep, have some Stardust. Have some Starlink fucking interweb. Here you go. Hip hip hooray. And again, it goes back to the question, what is our priorities? Why are we so far off track to where we want to be? Why did we let these entities get away with it? Why do we agree to it? Why do we bend to it? Why don't we just stand up and say, "Hey, wait a fucking minute. Stop the fucking bus. This is not happening. Not on my watch. It ain't happening." Because that's what we should be doing. We don't want it. Nobody wants it. Well, maybe some of the some of the crackheads and the junkies, they might want, yeah, fuck it, give me some of the Stardust. Why not? With all the let's have a look. With all that dust up there, Blue Beam is a go. It's a goal for Blue Beam. Yeah. Yeah, see what you're saying. Smart dust. Is that what Stardust is going to be? If that is the case, of course, they've already done it. Which brings me to the kind of whole thought and view of it's already happened, I'm afraid. It's already going on. And it's already been going on for fucking decades now. And if we do ever get there, before we ever kind of think, "Oh shit, wait a minute, it's going to be too fucking late." Too late. Decades now, man. Think of all the spraying that's occurred. We're more than halfway there, wherever there is. In terms of the Blue Beam, Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out, to be honest. On a plane, 1437. I wouldn't. And I remember I done a video, must have been in 2020, and it was called Is 5G? Was it actually? Was it that? It was. It was either. It was either is 5G the final piece to Bluebeam, or it was is Starlink the final piece to Bluebeam. But I can't remember now. It was that long ago, right? I forgot. It was one of them. I think it might have been 5G. Bluebeam's an interesting one. It's kind of one of their sort of wild. Would I call it a wild card? I suppose it is a bit of a wild card. Have they got the technology to do it? Probably, yeah. Would they do it? When I spoke to Scott's Armour, he reckons they will do it. And in his view, there'll be probably what they'll deem a World War III all-out war. Dun dun dun. And it'll be, yeah, you'll be in the army basically. You'll be sent away to war. But then all of a sudden, when everyone's on their knees, begging for mercy, up pops fucking E.T. in the sky. E.T. phone home. And everyone's like, fucking hell. It's E.T. And everyone's looking at the cigarettes that they're smoking like, the fuck is this? What did they put in this, man? You could imagine if that was to happen, people would lose their minds, man. Wouldn't they? They would. They would freak out something chronic. Just, it would completely blow their mind. It would. I could see that happening. So that was Scott's kind of thinking behind how that might pan out. Yeah, I mean, hey, I certainly wouldn't rule that out. Can I see there being what they deem World War III? I can't see that coming in. Going by the many, 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 many decades of conditioning. It's probably going to happen. Bluebeam, I don't know. I think that's one they'll use if they have to use it, but they might not need to use it. I mean, they've already got us in the palm of their hand, right? They've got us by the balls, fucking squeezing them. So would they even need it? I don't know. Maybe they would. It depends where they want to take it, of course, right? So we'll jump back. What is this? We've got a deal going on in the chat now. Fuck. See what happens when you let someone from Liverpool into your community. See what happens, right? Boom. There goes the neighborhood. Finished. A gram of Stardust, free for 100. Fuck, that's quite decent. Let me get the number. Where's that pen? There we go. Sorted, right? I've been. Shit, where did it go? They've been practicing for 70 years. Yeah, I think, yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. Probably a wee bit longer in terms of the aircraft continuous spraying. But yeah, I would not argue with that. Yeah, the Bluebeam, it's on a Illuminati card game, which I think the first one came out in 1995, possibly. If I remember correctly, there was a journalist called Sergei Monast. He was the first person, as far as I'm aware, to expose the whole Bluebeam agenda. And he died in quite a mysterious circumstances. Of course, they killed the guy. They killed him. But it was out there. He put it out. And of course, they talk about the whole paper from the CIA document talking about, we can win over the Cubans by putting God in the fucking sky or Jesus in the sky saying, look, do what Uncle Sam tells you to do. or I'll fucking curse you. Something along them lines. And yeah, he sounded like quite an interesting guy and journalist, a proper journalist. I'm sure he was French. With a name like that, you would imagine, right? I'm sure it's Sergei Monast. So if you want to check him out, check him out. So what we'll come back to the comments in a bit. And it goes on to talk about the news of Stardust's activities comes amid growing political momentum for a solar geoengineering non-use agreement. Political momentum for a solar geoengineering non-use agreement. Countries across Africa, Europe, and the Pacific have signaled their support, I bet they have, for a solar geoengineering non-use agreement. Right. Sounds great, right? Sounds great. An initiative already backed by almost 600, yikes, multidisciplinary academies and almost 2,000 civil society organizations. African environment ministers reaffirmed even and elaborated on their call for a non-use agreement at the recent 20th season of the African Ministerial Conference on the Environment. Amakan 20, calling for a United Nations General Assembly resolution on the matter. Well, fucking great. Hip hip hooray! Nothing to worry about now. In comes the UN, right? Yay! Shit, wait, what? Yeah. Great, that's all we need. So, basically, a lot of people might read that and they'll think, fuck, that's quite good. That sounds quite good. But what they're doing here is they're reeling in the control. So everyone bans it. But the United Nations, they'll be the ones who likely decide if it's going to be used or not. Nobody else. Not the states in America. Not the Africans in the cave with the Starlink. Not the people in the Pacific Ocean. Not the Europe, wherever that is. Not the UK. Oh no, it'll be the UN. Hip hip hooray. We are not worthy, of course. Yeah, you can trust the UN, right? Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, right enough. Maybe we can't then. Maybe we can't. But they're reining in the control of it. And I talked about this before, and it was kind of, it's a hard one to kind of portray. Because obviously a lot of countries and states and what have you are coming out and saying, look, we want to ban it. And people think, well, that's good. Right, yeah, that is good. So they basically lose, well, we or anybody else loses control of, or loses the opportunity of controlling such a thing. It's handed, it's basically banned and handed over to another entity. In this case, most likely the United Nations, right? So maybe some people who didn't quite get it when I talked about I think it was California or Florida or Texas, maybe banning so-called geoengineering. But where's it heading? It appears to be a good thing on the surface, but it won't be. It's part of a bigger operation, I'm afraid. One where they likely, by the sounds of this, hand it over to the United Nations, who we've already talked about years ago. They're also involved with the whole geoengineering scenario. Hip, hip, hooray. To the point where they've got aircraft that are involved in it. Honestly, I shit you not. I shit you not. And I mean, a lot of people who, I guess, you're kind of average Joe would think, well, the United Nations, they've got nothing to do with geoengineering. And they would also probably think that, well, NASA, they've got nothing to do with geoengineering. You could not be further from the truth, man. You couldn't. NASA are a climate company at best. I thought they were a space age. No, don't be silly. Don't be. I thought they went to the moon. Sure. Why not? Do you know, I think, what day are we on? Tuesday. I think possibly on, that can't be, might be Thursday, this Thursday. We'll do a stream talking a wee bit about NASA. And in particular, I want to talk about the Agena. Do we know what the Agena is? Probably not, but you'll see it on Thursday. And honest to God, man, it's just, yeah, quite comical, but there you go. So in terms of what they call unintended consequences, yeah, we've talked about that, I don't know how many times now. I can recall possibly 3 streams where we've looked at so-called unintended consequences. I done one where we looked at the so-called pros of geoengineering and, of course, the cons. In the pros, there was about 3. On the cons, there was a fucking big scroll. There was a scroll of things that could occur that were basically, well, none of them were good news. None of it was good news. It was all bad news, man. Shock horror. So the university is currently reporting this study, quite a few of them talking about it. The summary, well, it's a summary based on Frontiers in Science 2025. That's the name of the survey. Safeguarding the polar regions from dangerous geoengineering. So this one in particular, it's not really, well, it's more focused on polar geoengineering. Oh, we need to protect the ice. Remember, there was one where they said we can make wee glass beads and we can just fucking make millions and billions of them and then just cover the ice in glass beads. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. That's going to fucking melt. That would melt it faster. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe that is what they want. Maybe a goal for them. Because a lot of it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But maybe there is some kind of goal for the powers that be where they melt the polar caps, the Antarctica in particular. And they want to, I don't know, they want it to be land again. Proper land with like cows and shit. Is that what they want? Is that where we're heading? And of course, they'll say to us, well, it's to protect it. But it would likely, knowing what we know, it would be the opposite. Let's face it. So I think the most common, again, and we've touched on it many, many times, is of course the chemtrailing scenario. But they're calling it for the time being stratospheric aerosol injection, which of course most of you will know. The stratosphere, well, currently, if you look at an aircraft in the sky, it won't be in, well, it shouldn't be, I don't think, in what they call the stratosphere. It'll be below that. So the stratosphere, in their eyes, is a bit higher up. And that's what they're telling us at the moment. But I can guarantee you, mark my words, that'll change. It won't be in the stratosphere. Well, some of it might be, but the majority of it in the near future is going to be right above your fucking head. Similar to what shock horror is already happening today. We're seeing it today. It's happening now. yesterday, last year, last decade. This is not going to happen in the future. I'm telling you now, it's happening now. Potential disruption of global atmospheric circulation and precipitation patterns. Well, to be fair, that could be good news for Scotland. Maybe we're going to get less rain, which is quite funny and rather fitting because this year we are seemingly getting a lot less rain. So could it be that this potential disruption, it's already happening? Disruption of circulation and precipitation patterns, it's happening, man. That's not an unintended consequence for the near future. It's here today. It's here. Risk of termination shock. Rapid warming if program stops abruptly. Finished. And that's one. This is one they paint quite a big picture regarding what they call a termination shock, which was only at one point it was only of sci-fi stories. A termination shock. Now, seemingly it's a real thing. Seemingly it might happen. Now, is this one I could say has already happened? I don't know. Rapid warming out of the blue. I think you probably could say that is happening. Some people could, I think, say that's potentially going on right now. But what the way they talk about it, it's like an instantaneous thing. It would be one end of the scale or the other. So you would be extreme heat, or you would be frozen into a fucking ice cube. And if you fell over, you would shatter into a billion million pieces. Which, has that happened? Mind you, I have felt like that a few times, to be fair. But that's, I don't know if I'd go that far. But maybe it has happened. Maybe they've tested this. Like, remember, maybe when we talked about Palestine, what have they tested over there? Have they tested a termination shock somewhere in the world without telling us? I mean, they wouldn't tell us, to be honest. Similar to when you talk about exotic technology and directed energy. Oh, well, we would know. Well, you probably wouldn't fucking know, though. I mean, why would they tell you? Oh, they would have tested it. Yeah, what? And they would have told you? Oh, we'll just tell them that we're testing this secret technology that'll fucking could blow a building to smithereens in a split fucking second. They wouldn't tell you. They wouldn't. You're only going to know when it fucking happens. That's when you know. So that one kind of debatable. Possible ozone depletion due to chemical reaction. Well, if the mainstream media and my early school education is anything to go by, I remember quite vividly. Is that the right word? I think so. My teacher telling me when I was about, I don't know, 10-year-old, and I remember it well. They told us about the so-called ozone and the greenhouse gases and the CFCs and how we're killing the planet. A fucking 10-year-old boy. 10-year-old man. Like, shit, wait, what? I've been out playing on my bike all day and then all of a sudden I've fucking killed the planet? But the ozone one, ozone depletion or a hole in the ozone, I don't know. I've never kind of bought that. Do you know? I remember Bill Cooper talked about it saying, look, they keep saying there's a hole in the ozone and it's over the Antarctica. And he was like, why is it not over China, where you'd think it would be over, or America? I mean, why is it over somewhere there's hardly any fucking people? And I thought that was quite an interesting take. He never, of course, he didn't buy it, any of it. Not stupid enough to buy it. Do I buy depletion in the ozone? I don't know. I certainly don't buy how their explanation of how it may have occurred. I mean, I couldn't for any amount of time. I couldn't. But what I could maybe buy is a atmospheric, or let's say ozone depletion, or manipulation from technology used to do that exact thing. Mainly HARP, if we want to call it that. That would, yeah, I can buy that, because that's when you look into HARP and what it seemingly carried out. It was like it was trying to put a hole in the ozone. We'll call it that for the time being. So yeah, I wouldn't buy deodorant done it. Would I buy that fucking DARPA and HARP have done it? Yeah, I could buy that. I don't think anybody could rule that out, to be honest, right? Have we still got some deals going on? Hey, don't use it all, right? Keep some. Keep some for me. So that one I can kinda buy it. What time are we at? I need to watch my time as well. Shocking, right? Why did I do that? And why is it not? Honestly, technology. So adverse effects on sunlight dependent ecosystems. I think we're seeing that. We're seeing that already. Health risks from aerosol fallout. Again, what goes up must come down. Are we seeing that? Could we be seeing that? Well, I would say so. Look at the health issues today, man. The breathing, the asthma, you name it. The amount of illness and sickness and children, and I mean, the cancers. Growing up as a young kid, old people got cancer, and few and far between. Now, as an adult, fuck me. And I mean, that's one that's quite close to home for me. Obviously, people who they may have heard this story before, so I won't go into it too much. But my youngest son, got cancer, and he was a baby, man. Now, he never smoked. Well, I don't think. Maybe in a past life he might have, but he didn't. You know. And when I went in, I'll never forget, man. When I went to Aberdeen Hospital, and me and my wife, and we had to stay there for weeks and weeks in a kind of parent accommodation, and there was 2 gigantic wards, just chock a block of children, each and every one of them with cancer or leukemia, tumors in their brain, tumors in their eyes, man. Packed to the fucking gunnels, packed. Hundreds of kids, some of them days to go. And it just it blew me, it knocked me for 6, man. It really did. I just, I mean, I up until that point, I really never even seen or considered how fucking bad it really was. It's so bad, man. So bad. So that's one we could probably say it's happening. It's already here. Uneven cooling across hemispheres causing climatic imbalance. Again, possibly debatable, but I think that's one you can say it's happening. You can tick it off. Moral hazard. Well, I mean, morals. Are we are we really going there? Are we going there? Moral hazard, reduced urgency for emissions reduction. So that's one they tend to be quite worried about. Because, of course, they think people are going to think, well, why do we need to do anything now? Geoengineering is going to save the day. We don't need to bother anymore. Forget the recycling. Not that it's any fucking use anyway. Forget petrol and diesel. Bring it all back again. Do what you want to do. Consume, consume. So they're a wee bit worried that people might think that. Do you know? Shocking, right? So to... why is it not working? To extend on it more. In regards to the beef curtains underwater. The underwater barriers. In the sea. A barrier. In the sea? A curtain in the sea? I mean, how big is it going to have to be, right? I mean, fucking hell. So, potential so-called unintended consequences. Altered ocean currents and heat distribution. I think that might already be underway. Disruption of marine ecosystems and species migration. That's already happening. That's already happening. Look it up. It's already, I mean, if it's to be believed. I mean, seeing is believing. In my own view, that is already happening. Risk of structural failure due to icebergs or storms. Well, that could be the sea curtain could be destroyed by an iceberg. So, if they make a sea curtain and they call it the Titanic, you know what's going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen there. Oh, fuck, the sea curtain's down. That's it, we're doomed. We're doomed now. And yeah, quite an incredible one. Somehow in my mind, I can only see that making things worse in terms of the ice. It would melt quicker. Right, we'll put it in a wee hot box. We'll surround it with a fucking curtain, like a big, I don't know, like a turkey in the oven. Put it in tin foil to protect it from the heat. Sure, why not? So high carbon cost of construction and maintenance. Yeah, can't see it being cheap, right? Maybe they'll buy it from, I don't know, fucking Temu. Mate, check on Temu. Is there any, not beef curtain, marine curtain? There's an idea, right? Get on to it now. Make a marine curtain company. Can you imagine? Potential geopolitical conflicts over international water. That's one they do mention quite a bit. Some people reckon that geoengineering, it could trigger a few wars in the world, but probably not already wars that are going on. I don't know, China, Taiwan, India, Pakistan. I think that's going to be one. But they're always at war. They're always fighting. I don't know what it is with the Indians and the Pakistanis, but they can't get on. They simply cannot get on. But there you go. Some people maybe think that about English and Scottish, but it's not really the case. Is it? Well, I don't know. Debatable, right? Debatable. It's certainly not the case for me. The English to me are my brother and sister. The same as the people over in Ireland. I stretch my arm right across, and I see them as a brother or a sister, not an enemy. Because of course it's different when you know who the true enemy is. You see things a lot clearer, in my view, anyway. Right? Ice management. We'll try and get through these quite quick. So yeah, again, talking about the sea ice, because, well, that's melting, right? We better sort that out. Albedo enhancement, toxicity from synthetic reflective materials, e.g. microbeads. That's the one we talked about, the wee glass beads. I mean, they've a cheek to talk about us with straws. Oh, well, remember, plastic straws are bad. Tupperware's bad. Everything you do is bad. But here, a million, trillion, zillion, gabillion beads. Just dump it in the sea, on the ice. Forget about it. There'll be nothing to worry about. I mean, imagine what kind of effects that would have on, in particular, sea life and what have you, man. It would be devastating. And it would probably, again, in my own view, it would make it worse. It wouldn't stop it from melting. It would fucking heat it up. Material drift and accumulation affecting non-targeted regions. So, right. So we drop a million billion beads here, but unfortunately, there was a wee bit of a storm. Now they're in Scotland. Hooray! I don't know. Maybe we can make igloos out of the beads. We'll find something for it, right? But I mean, again, it's a comical one. Could I see that happening? I don't think it's happening. Could I see it happening? I can't. I can't see it happening. But if they are rushing to somehow melt this fucking ice quicker than previously thought, then maybe they will try it. Maybe they will do that, along with pretty much every other insanely insane idea that they've got. Possible darkening instead of brightening due to degradation. Oh dear. So we wanted to darken it, but we brightened it. Now the ice melted. Hey, what you gonna do? It was AI. AI done it. What you gonna do? Beat up a computer? Probably. Massive logistical demands for deployment and upkeep. Yeah. I mean, fucking hell. How many beads would you need? Any experts on beads out there? No, not them kind of beads. Not them. Nope, not them. Let's not go there, right? Impact on marine and coastal food webs. Yeah, can you imagine all the fish and fucking crabs and what have you just eating these beads? And they would be everywhere and just blocking the stomachs of whales and sharks. And it would be devastating, man. It would be. I mean, it would. It's kind of beyond comprehension. The basal water removal. Unpredictable ice dynamics and potential redirection of flow. Is that happening? Potentially, yeah. That's already going on. Contamination of subglacial ecosystems from drilling. Right, so there would be a lot of drilling involved. Well, that already happens by the sounds of it. Well, in the North Sea it does anyway. In quite a lot of different seas across the world, they're drilling and drilling and drilling. Yeah. To what benefit? I tend to wonder. This one potentially is already happening. I mean, imagine the kind of contamination they've been doing by soaking stuff out of the ground that probably shouldn't be soaked out of the ground. Oh, but don't worry, we'll pump water back into it. That'll do the trick, right? Yeah. The whole crude oil and how oil is seemingly made, that's an interesting one. And probably a whole stream on it on itself. Not that I'm an expert on it, but I've heard quite a lot about it. So contamination, risk of increased calving and ice loss at glacier fronts. So I'd assume the sort of caving in and avalanches, but also the loss at glacier fronts, falling into the water, making the sea rise, potentially maybe causing a tsunami, possibly. Of course, that's one they talk about with not the iceberg, but La Palma. Oh, it might fall into the sea and then fucking big tsunami wipes out most of the bloody world. Could that happen? I don't know. I doubt we'll ever see that. If it was to happen, it wouldn't be by fucking accident. I can guarantee you that. Extreme. Why is that not going? Oh, yeah, there we go. Extreme difficulty of maintaining long-term drainage systems. Yeah. Another great idea, I suppose. Systemic and societal risk. Well, who cares, right? When have they ever cared about risk to society? Honestly. They never have, man. They simply don't. They don't. Diverts focus and funding from emissions reduction efforts. And we talked about that. That's kind of happening already. People will be thinking, well, they can do geoengineering now. We don't need to worry. Screw it. I'm doing what I need to do. Which is probably the attitude to have anyway. But at that, you'll be kind of playing into their hands, though. That's the thing. See, at each and every turn, we're kind of set up and kettled into a particular position. Governance and liability issues over transboundary effects. Yeah, because again, like we've talked about, seemingly what they'll do is they'll rob Peter and they'll pay Paul. So Paul's going to be all right. You're all right. But Peter, forget it. You're finished. Pack your bag, Peter. You're done, right? But yeah, the governance one. Again, going back to what we've talked about in the past, people think, oh, it's a good idea, they're banning it. But it's, in my own view, that's clearly part of a wider operation. Yeah, it'll get banned here, there, and fucking everywhere, except from it'll be handed over to what looks like the United Nations. Hooray! Remember that time we all got together and said, do you know what will be a good idea? If we just say, look, the United Nations, they can decide every single fucking thing about our life, our country. Why not? Remember why we laughed that day. Wait, what? That never happened. Must have been beamed into my mind. I thought that did happen, but there you go. Shock horror. Risk of public distrust or backlash against climate science. That's one that's kind of just beginning. It's kind of just beginning. And this is, funnily enough, this is one we've talked about because it's in this whole distrust in science itself. The World Economic Forum, I think in 2021, they began to predict somehow, right? I wonder how. They began to predict this mistrust in science, both climate and medical science. So people are fast waking up to, well, the atrocity of the juice. So science said, look, we've got this wee wonder juice. It'll be great. It's going to save the world, get us out of the pandemic. Hooray. And a lot of people said, right, fuck it, I'll take it. Regrettably so, a lot of them did. And now they're seeing what it was actually about, and they're thinking, wait a fucking minute, I've been fooled here. I've been had. I can no longer trust any of it. That's if they're lucky enough to even still be fucking here. So they're waking up to it and thinking, nah, do you know what? If they do that again, they can fucking ram it. Then as geoengineering begins to take place, the same thing is going to happen. They'll say, it'll be great, it'll be fine, it'll be fantastic, it'll save the world. It fucking won't. It'll be the opposite. Then the distrust again will emerge. It's got to. It would have to. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it now. And again, another one the World Economic Forum predicted is youth disillusionment. And we talked about it 3, maybe even 4 years ago now. We talked about it. And we, in quite great detail, if I may say. And we did. We sat and read it. We looked at it. We pondered it. And we began to wonder, is that going to happen? Are we going to see this youth disillusionment? We're seeing it now. A couple of years down the line, we are seeing it. We are seeing it. We're seeing it. And the youth, in my own view, a lot of the youth are actually going to be, they're going to be the first people to put their hand up to fight against it. Because they are going to be so fucking disillusioned by it all. I mean, in my life, we've seen a lot. People a good bit older than me, not so much disillusioned by it. Me, fucking, yeah, definitely disillusioned. The younger people, it's going to be even worse, man. Even worse. But the issue there is going to be, who's going to lead them? Are they going to be led astray by the wrong people? The knight in shining armor. Oh, these are the people to get. That's the enemy. Time will tell on that, I suppose, right? And that one there, where did it go? Economic burden. An economic burden of perpetual maintenance costs. Well, up until this point, a lot of the so-called scientists and people like Dr. David Keith Kelly, the fucking con artist, he's been saying, it won't cost a lot of money. It's only going to cost a couple of billion, zillion, trillion. Pennies, man. Well, that'll change, of course, in the world that we're in. Because Dr. Deception, Keith Kelly, whatever his fucking name is, he said it years ago. Oh, it won't cost very much. Pennies compared to what we would have to spend if we let it happen. Well, what sort of world are we in now, though? Look at the price of stuff now. It's through the roof, man. It's beyond that. It's right out the firmament. It's gone. Never to be seen. No going back. No going back. So an economic burden of perpetual, is it perpetual? We'll go with that. Of perpetual maintenance costs and shit, what does that say? Someone's in the way. Some stupid idiot has parked right in front of the word. I can't even take a guess what it is. What could it be? Unequal regional effects. Is that what it is? I'm taking a guess at that. It is. There you go. There you go, right? I'm wasted here. Wasted, man. I could have been a great, I don't know, guesser. Yeah, I'm a great guesser. What would that be? What was that game show again? Oh, fuck. Catchphrase. There you go. It was like catchphrase, right? Catchphrase. I loved catchphrase, actually. That was a show that I liked. Catchphrase. Mr. Chips, right? Anything that involves a kind of quiz, I'm always happy to see it. So unequal regional effects, benefits for some, harm for others. And again, that takes us back to seemingly when it comes down to geoengineering, what happens is they rob Peter to pay Paul. So in our terms, it'll be robbing India to pay Pakistan, or it'll be robbing the UK to pay, I don't know, parlez-vous français, right? So maybe there'll be a war in the future between the UK and France because we robbed all their fucking rain and they've got a drought now. Look out for that one, right? Look out for that one. So what time are we on? We're on 3 hour bang on the nose. And I reckon that's probably going to be enough, to be fair. Get 'em off! We've had enough, man. 3 hours of this fucking unintended consequences. We are not worthy. I think that is the last slide. Is it? It is. There you go. 3 hours on the nose and about 2 hours saying, right, cheerio. Cheerio. So yeah. I mean, even in this 3 hours, okay, say 2.5 hours, give or take a few minutes. You kind of only just scratch the surface, to be fair. There's so many things to get into with geoengineering. But I think the bottom line for me is it cannot go ahead. It can't. It needs to be stopped. But with that said, it's well underway. And unfortunately, it could be, and I hate to say it, but it could be too little too fucking late. It may well be. A lot of the so-called, and we talked about this before, a lot of these so-called unintended consequences, they're already here. It's already happening, man. Because, of course, they've been spraying for many, many decades now. And I dread to imagine what they've been spraying. Imagine. Look at what they're doing. Look at how many articles have been coming out in the past about, oh, the soil's poisoned, or the water's poisoned, or the fish are poisoned, or the insects are dead, or the bees are dead, everyone's sick, everyone's ill. The fucking currents are fucked. The sea's fucked. The fish are fucked. The birds are fucked. They're falling out the sky. The fish are en masse dead. En masse, they're fucking dead. Right across the board. Oh, well, it might have been a military thing. It might have been this. It might have been that. There's never any solid answer as to why. Is it really the simple fact that it's an so-called unintended consequence of the many decades of spraying that we've been in amongst? Because again, hey, what goes up must come down. And we've got to work in this here reality. We've got to work the land. We eat from the soil. We breathe the air. We drink the water. We eat the animals. Should it really be any surprise, the amount of sickness, illness, poisonous fucking things that are going on? Should it really shock us when we think about it? It has to be stopped, man. It's got to be stopped. How we stop it, I don't know. But hey, non-compliance is the first and foremost priority. Non-compliance. Do not consent. Do not agree. But we're not yet at a point where they're forcing it upon us in terms of all out in the open geoengineering. But that'll come. And I'm afraid there's going to be probably, they'll deem it a huge loss of life due to I don't know, a shock storm, a frantic storm, a shock hurricane that kills hundreds, and it's going to shock the world. And the next solution will be we need to implement geoengineering. And I can guarantee you this, it won't be in 2100. It'll be long before that. Long before it. Unless we do something about it, of course, right? And we won't, hey, lead by example. We don't give up. We don't bend. We don't break. We'll keep going. Keep exposing it, man. It's the best we can do. It's the best we can do. Hey, we can only try our best at the end of the day. And we'll see where that takes us. Excuse me. So I reckon that's pretty much it. Have I got anything else to mention? Not that I can think of offhand. I reckon probably on Thursday I will be back again. It'll be a bit more relaxed. Don't worry. Don't worry, sit back. You've got it. No, it won't be that bad. It'll be a bit more, well, I'm saying relaxed. Even when I'm talking about the Apollo, I still get a bit frustrated. I still get a bit frustrated, but it's a bit more comical, to be fair. There's a bit more of a humorous aspect to it. At least in my view. Like, you might disagree, to be honest, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their view, their opinion. Why not, right? So yeah, good to see everyone. I'll catch you on Thursday, and I'll catch you again on Saturday. And of course, that'll be on Sensum's neck of the woods in Englandshire. So I'll be wearing my kilt and my fucking Pictish head on a stick, head on a spear. Right, got to keep the tradition going. So yeah, I reckon we're probably good to go. I don't think there was anything else, man. Still a lot going on in the world that we're in. On all fronts, on all stages, if you like. A lot of people falling for this Candice Owens, Agent Owens, and the whole turning point operation. I mean, come on. Really? Honestly? I don't know what to say to that. Hey, people will see through it eventually. If they don't see through it, hey, it's fair enough. You can't see through things straight away. But you do. You will begin to. And it's the old kind of scenario where you begin to get streetwise. We'll call it that. So you begin to learn where you're being duped, learn where you're being conned. And if you're anything like anybody here, you'll be coming from a position where, look, you can fool me once, but you will not fucking fool me twice. Because if you do, shame on me, right? Shame on me. Because they got me in the past. I was once a doting sheeple many, many moons ago. And they fooled me. In particular, the political system. It fooled me big time. It had me hook, line, and sinker. Quite funny thinking back. How we can laugh today, right? Although ignorance is bliss, to be honest. But yeah, no, it fooled me on the Scottish referendum, and I thought, nah, I ain't fucking. I've certainly seen through it. I was well on the way to seeing through it. But then it fooled me again a wee bit with the whole Brexit situation back in 2016. And as soon as I took part in that, I thought, you know what? I fucking hated myself, man. Honestly, I felt so tainted by it that I had let myself get sucked into that again. But never again. Not a fucking hope, man. Not a chance. It simply will not happen again. I can swear down right now, it won't happen. I will not enter another polling station in my life. I simply won't. And if I ever touch another voting ballot paper, it will be to set it into flames, similar to what I done the last time. Yeah, no, thinking back to that when I done that, I went in and I took the ballot paper and I replaced it with a piece of paper. I won't say what I wrote on it, but I replaced it with a piece of paper and I took the ballot home and cremated it. And do you know this? It was one of the most liberating things that I've ever fucking done. Honest to God. I felt so, I think the word would be liberated. Do you know, because it's a hard thing to kind of get over, and people who still vote, they'll probably understand what I'm saying. But for a good few years, I thought, nah, I can't give up the vote though. It's like the only thing I've got. Well, you might think that, but you've not even got that. You've not got it. And it takes a lot to kind of break that mentality. There's a lot of people, and hey, it's up to them. I certainly won't have a go at them. They'll need to see it for themselves. But they know a wee bit, they know a thing or two about what's going on, but they'll still take part in the voting. Some of them even they'll even vote knowing that it's not going to make any difference. But they simply cannot let go of the vote though. And I don't know what they've done there, but they've worked a wonder on people. An absolute wonder. Because they will not fucking let it go. I think again, a lot of younger people are a bit more willing to throw it away, for lack of a better term, or be liberated is the right term. But a lot of the older people, they won't let it go, which is fine. Which is fine, but you'll only be in the end, you'll only be fooled again. I'm afraid. There's no answer in the political system. And again, hey, people never get this confused. The system, it's not broken. It's not broken. It works perfectly fine. It's built that way. It's built a particular way where we don't get a say. Imagine us getting a say. Don't be silly, man. Don't be silly. And they've got it so wrapped up as well. I mean, they could. On one hand, they could tamper with the votes and it could be rigged. On the other hand, they present a choice of two, but the both of them are controlled. So whichever one you fucking choose, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway, because they're going to go down the same road. The exact same road. It did it. I mean, hey, to be fair, it took a wee bit for me to see that. It took me, I mean, I was in a way, and my wife would probably say, obsessed with the whole political system for many years, many, but only through that kind of getting right neck deep in it did I see through it. And boy, did I see fucking through it. But they always tend to find a way to pull people in. Trump was an example. I guess the guy Farage and what they called no reform, they might be there to pull even more people in to think, yeah, they're the answer. They won't be the answer, I'm afraid. They won't be. The answer's not going to come from a political party. It can only come from you. It can only come from me. That's the bottom line. There's no knight in shining armor. Fuck me. A political party, a politician is more likely to fuck you over before he does anything for your benefit. They've no power, man. They've not. And it can be a hard one to grasp, but don't give up on people. Because if I can see it, then anybody can see it. Proper bigging myself up now, right? Bigging myself up now. Yeah, well, I done a lot of the leafleting and for Scottish independence, and I've still got photos of me and my youngest son at the time delivering. It was a particular newspaper that was focused on Scottish independence, and through the political party, we got them sent to us, and then we could hand them out for free, at no cost. And yes, some people would take them, but what I tended to do was just deliver them. So go door to door, knocking on doors, speaking to people. And to be fair, yeah, I could see you can think of it as wasted, but there's stuff I learned from it as well. Do you know, it's all one big learning process, really. So none of it's a waste of time. Do you know? I wouldn't say it was a waste. No matter what road we go down, we're here because we're here today, and where we are today because of that road we went down. So there's ways to look at it, but I totally understand what you're saying, Toffee, as well. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a waste, to be fair. It's, hey, everything that we've done, it's made us who we are today. So the past is the past. It's now. It's all about now. And my dad, he always said that to me. God bless him. It's about now. Because I'd be, I've done this in the past, or worried about this for the future. Forget that, man. It's now you need to concentrate on. And it took me a long time to kind of see that as well. Even though my dad sort of drilled it home every fucking day, man. Every day. Yeah, most definitely. Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there in the end. And you're certainly not a guy who's easily fooled. That's for sure. And a guy with a good moral standing. A guy who has values. We get a lot of people similar to that here. We've got principles. We've got ideas about what's good about the world, where the world should be going, and we're certainly worried about where it's going. It's not in a good way, man. If I was to describe the world, it would be in a fucking coma. It would be in a coma. Question is, are we going to get out? We're in a coma in high dependency unit or ward, whatever you want. Probably a mental institution, to be fair. Fuck the coma. We're in a mental institution. That's what we're in. Take your pick, right? So good to see you, Toffee. 13:20. Sorry, 3 hours, 20 minutes almost. We'll probably call it a night. MB as well in the hood. Good to see you. Fuck 'em in the with broken. Well, hey, each to their own, right? Oh man, fuck you know. I thought I was crazy, but there you go. Hey, I don't know what an image that is. There you go. That's one way to do it. That'll fucking teach them, right? I'd rather you than me. I'd rather you than me, to be fair. Oh, top man, Toffee. And I look forward to talking with yourself and sent some on Saturday. Probably about sort of pressing issues. Recent news, I guess, in terms of the UK and the world. And yeah, we'll certainly have our piece to say, I'd imagine. It's always a good crack, and I look forward to it. Good to see Nathan as well. Nathan and Penny, long-term sufferers of That's Life, but not as we know it. That fucking Scottish bastard. That sort of thing. So good to see Nathan, always there and engaging. Thank you very much. Toffee on a plane as well. Good to see you. We're saying our Cheerios now. On a plane. Charming as well in the hood. I never noticed you there. David Bowie's I'm Afraid of Americans. Well, who could blame him, right? Who could blame him? The good old Americans. I don't know if I would say I was afraid of them. I'm more intrigued by them, to be honest. I find them quite entertaining. They are certainly a rare breed. The old Americans. Do you know? I actually think I would probably fit quite well in America. I think I'd fit quite well there. Some of the places, anyway. Proud to be an American. Absolute tune. Is that the name of the tune? What did I call it? A real American. Oh, Martin as well. Good to see you, Martin. I never seen you there. I hope you're doing well. And thank you to everyone who joined. Stevie in the hood. Toffee, Linda on a plane. Loads of comments. And thank you to the curry loving, golf playing, well, pretending to golf play. Sent some in the hood. I look forward to catching you on Saturday. And the link is there. Why is it not coming up? Oh, there it goes. I don't know. He sent some is probably sleeping now. Dreaming about curry. Dreaming about curries playing golf, or is it golf eating curries? One of them. One of them, right? But if do you know, I should have had the link, to be fair, to put it in. But there you go. Hey, what do I know? Don't answer that. Don't answer it, right? But good to see everyone. Yeah, it is indeed. Hey, we get there again. We get there wherever it's going to be. Slowly but surely. God granted, a day at a time. So yeah, good to see everyone. Let me see if I can. What did I play again? Oh, we played the Babylon one, the kind of instrumental build-up intro, followed up by the Meatloaf tune to bring it in. That's one. Of course, I put all these together myself. I like them. Whether you do, that's another story, right? That's another story. But there's one it's one of my favorites. I tend to play it quite a lot. It's the Bad Moon Rising. It's my favorite one out of the ones I've got uploaded. I'll need to get more. One of these days we'll get it right. Oh, there's a link there. Why did that go tiny? What the hell happened to the screen now? I don't know what's going on, but I can't even see what's going on. Honest to God, man. The screen's like tiny. I don't know what's happened there, but we're pretty much done anyway. So we're all good in the hood. So yeah, most likely I'll be back on Thursday. Failing that, definitely on Saturday night. Link is there. So don't say we didn't tell you. Look forward to it. And yeah. Hey, no matter what, we keep going. We don't bend. We don't break. We're gonna. Hey, it's a fucking roller coaster, man. It really is. And I've been through so much, man. You know, and most people probably say that. And to be fair, most people probably they have been. We've all got our trials and I guess tribulations. We've all got our crosses to bear, some might say. But you keep going, you dig deep, you keep going. You've got to be honest, it's the only answer. And no matter what you do, tell yourself that the only answer is to keep going. You've got to keep going. So, we do not bend, we do not break. We don't let anybody get in our way. Nobody, no matter who they fucking think they are. We do not live in fear, no matter what. We do what we need to do. We do what we want to do. And like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I see the bad moon horizon. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today.